Hey, y'all. I don't know if that light is too bright or not. We're gonna see. I've been seeing y'all text saying the room is completely dark on y'all end, and that's wild to me. You know, I don't know why that's happening, but I guess any way to drown us out from the world, right? I think that's what's happening. They're trying to disconnect us. It's okay. I don't know where my lip gloss is, y'all. I think I took it out of the room. Darned it. Hey, good evening, sis. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, y'all. Hey, so did anybody get a chance to watch his Dark Materials? And I've watched this series twice. Promise you, it's some stuff that I didn't see either time. And I've seen it now. I said, oh, because it was for right now. Auntie, guess what I put together? What did you put together, nephew? Come on and tell us. I like it when y'all research. Not you got my, we ain't even been in here a minute and 28 seconds and you want to make my toes dig into my shoes. Good job, nephew. Good job. Hey, y'all. I started watching it today and boy, hopefully you got your pen and paper out. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't had mine out, but I'm the teacher, so right. Ow! Did I do that? I didn't push the thing. Well, we hood around here. I watched The Golden Compass in the first 4 episodes of his Dark Materials. Danny, where you at? What you think? Y'all, this ghetto around here, it's okay. We, it's been a minute. Well, hello. You said girl Nicole been on one today and it is so good. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Listen, her research is on point today. Oh, I believe it. I believe this one thing I know about y'all. You said everything we talked about is all Dark Materials. Okay. Okay. And I know my niece been over there, toes in the carpet. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Hey, sister. That makes me excited. And okay, so and real quick, you said, and I was reading the commentary on Habakkuk. You said, and all I'm gonna say is Emor, girl. I already know what you was gonna say. You said I'm trying to write my papers for school, and she was like, "Mom, girl, I already know how it go." Listen, you said, hold on. You said like Cain and Abel. Didn't we talk about it? How Cain wasn't a legitimate child? Listen. So, do y'all remember me telling y'all that my mom worked in the lab in the hospital? You said Tales of the Patriarchs took me through there. Look at my class. You know what? I know what y'all deserve. Hold on. Ah. Galadriel. Look at my babies. Oh, y'all making me so happy. You said, do you know how they say Disneyland is a wonderful place to go to the North Pole with the children? Oh, look at this. That is it, right. And that's where all the keys we want to get to, and you write your letters there, where the angels are. Interesting. Look at my babies. Hey. Oh shoot. You know what? Give me a second. You just give me one moment. I can tell my cheeks is not gonna stop smiling this whole thing. God. Okay. Cause y'all got me sweating already. I had to get myself together. I thought I was gonna be able to do this without it, but I guess not. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Hey, you said, or you wrote, or you write them to Santa in the North Pole. I was like, oh, word, y'all just gonna play in our faces like this. Niecy Pooh. So, okay. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Okay. Remember way back when we first started this, I said we're gonna get the basics down, right? But from this day, looking at the Bible and at movies and signs and symbols, you won't be able to unsee it anywhere. Good evening, Isabel. Do y'all remember me saying that to y'all? We just gonna start there. I just want to show y'all something. Yes. Hey, Nisi Pooh. Hey, we didn't heard you been on your mama nerves like Deacon KB on here, on your nerves, asking questions and saying stuff and finding what you found, right? Okay, so look, when we first got here, listen now, hear me. You a member? Y'all a member? Okay, let me ask you a question. Tell me how long you been here first before I ask this question. And I just want people to see. Wherever I've been working pretty much every day. We on YouTube. We still doing our thing every day, just about. She is. I already knew though. That's why. Can I be honest? So I restitched some of 4 years. You've been here 4 years, Rika. Okay. You've been here since 2020. 2022. 4 years. 4 years. Come on now. I want to show y'all something. 4 years. 5 years. Interesting. Since 22. Since 22. 3 years. 3 years since the beginning. Okay. Two almost 3 years. Okay. Okay. 4 years. You since 2022. 2022 left and came back in May of 2023. You left us for you left us you left us for a year, Danny. Moving on. 22. 4 years. 4 years. You said I've been here since before my baby was 2. He's 6 now, so however long that is, 4 years. You said 22, but I lost my count and couldn't find you. Oh yeah. Well, we've been on YouTube. I told y'all if y'all ever lost us on here to go to YouTube. I don't think folks' ears was clean when I was telling people that. I'm just playing. I'm just saying y'all wasn't listening. That's a way for me to say that. Mm-hmm. Remember, we got YouTube so we could record the classes that everybody was missing. And I said, if you ever lose us, just go to YouTube. We've been over there the whole time. You said I did, Auntie, laugh out loud. But to my defense, it was a lot going on in my life. Okay, I got you. I was about to say I thought you like just wasn't messing with us for a year. That's different. But life happening, fine. But not messing with us, no. I'm just playing. Okay, so listen. So you've been here that amount of time. When we got here, I said, listen, this is not your normal way of teaching, right? I know y'all used to a certain thing, right? But I'm only going to share with y'all the way of learning that God showed me, right? Fair? I said, I don't pretend to know more than everybody. I'm just going to give y'all what He give me. And wherever it takes you on your journey, I just pray that you come back and share it with us. Right? Or no? Right? We going to love on each other. We going to learn together. And we walking this thing side by side. Hey, okay? I have to tell y'all, I did not know where this was going to go. Again, I thought I was only going to be around y'all 6 months and I was going to be onto my trucking company. I'm going to keep telling the truth about that. Because it is what it is. I didn't know I was going to be around y'all for almost 5 years. But I can say, as an unofficial teacher, that I am so proud of every last one of y'all that stuck in here, that came to class even when it didn't feel good, when it was uncomfortable, when it was hard to look yourself in the mirror, all of that. And that did not stop y'all from learning. Some of y'all, like Danny said, they've been through hell, but you still came to class. You still would open up your Bible or open up your Bible app or open up one of your books or turn on the TV And even when you didn't feel like it, even if you didn't feel good in your body, guess what? Y'all was still gonna pull out a pen and paper or write a note or screenshot or do something every single day. And to see the progress in everybody's studies, in the way that y'all move now, in the way that you think now. Not saying that you got it, you got it here. I'm just saying to see y'all grow in the way, if we could use seed right now, right? Self-evaluation empowers development. Do y'all see the seeds? And do y'all see them growing in the way that God speaks to you? Remember, we only used to feel like if you was praying or if a prophet didn't come and say something or whatever. You said, yes, ma'am. Sometimes I used to be kicking and screaming. You said you started my spiritual journey years ago, and I'm so grateful you started your journey. What I'm going to say is this. I be so proud of y'all. And whatever y'all share this evening, it warms my heart. Okay? To see y'all grow, to see everybody excited. For a long time, there was nobody around me that wanted to hear any of the things that we talk about. Okay? But once I started looking, I haven't been able to stop since. But my life has gotten better every single day. Okay? And hopefully, y'all lives have gotten better. Even if it's ugly, it doesn't matter. It's an experience. You can't fail an experience. You either just learn what not to do or you learn what to do. That's it. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to always do the right thing. But as long as you get up and you keep trying to learn every day, asking God which way to go and for information, it's going to change. You say, how could you not want to know all of these wonderful goodness? Listen, I appreciate you, sister. How could they not? I don't know. Their eyes is closed. Okay. That being said, I'm ready for whatever it is that y'all connected in whatever it is, whether it's Golden Compass, Cane, whatever it is, I'm ready. Y'all make me smile so big, so hard because you all have been consistent in at least learning. Whether you've been in class or not, y'all still come back with information and it blesses my soul. It do. And I don't know if y'all feel like that when y'all come to class, but learning together and putting the pieces together, it's amazing. Sometimes it can be mentally overwhelming because you be like, ooh, this is a lot of information in a short amount of time. But guess what? I'd rather have that than be in the dark. And the clues and the mysteries are all around us, but they're just not hidden in the 66 books. That's not the only place that they are. And I'm very grateful to y'all for wanting to learn. It makes me excited. Because I know y'all realize now, it's a lot of people that just want to be blind. They don't want to know. They feel like not knowing absolves them of whatever's coming, and they just ostriches. Because the what you call them, four-wheelers, not four-wheelers, the 18-wheelers, they on their way. And just because you got your head in the ground, don't mean the Mack truck ain't about to smack you. So you would want to know what's happening. All right. You said, even when I lost, I be lost about what y'all talking about. I'm wow. You said, but I know it's going to click one day for me. Yeah. Okay. That being said, remember I told you it was 10 straight years of study for me? Remember I said this? It was 10 straight years of study. And I told y'all in the beginning, I said, there's no way I can remember everything I studied. It's just going to come back when it come back. Remember? I said, don't try to just take it in. Take it in, 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 take it in. As y'all can see, there's stuff that we did way back when that we're hitting now, and it's more information out there and about in our face. That's how the process goes. You don't plant a tree and have fruit the next day, right? So y'all planted seeds in 22, 23, 24, whenever you got here, of I want to understand. And now those seeds are growing into fruit in every area of your life. it is an amazing feeling. Really, it is an amazing feeling. So now that being said, come on, Kane. Uh, tell me, come on. You said in the Golden Compass when she was talking, Lyra, telling Lyra about the elders making a mistake. It made me think of gene splicing. Uh-oh. Okay. Listen, you said, yes, I have to remind myself that you've been doing this for so long and it's important. Shoot, it's vital that you write it down because I'll be like, ooh, it's so much, girl. And y'all, listen, we in this thing. We in this thing. But get this. I used to be super overwhelmed, right? Because I can only look up so much information at one time. So when y'all come in here and y'all say certain stuff like Nicole and Rika and Danny the other day and do not kill me. I can see her face. The other young lady that was in class. A goody, thank you. I was getting ready to call her Alicia Black. Y'all, bear with me. A goody. I'm grateful. And then for the people that were in typing, you said, I'm not done with my research yet, but I've realized Sargon equals Cain, right? You said, now take it to the Lord of the Rings. Sargon is Sauron. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. You on the right path, Nisi Poo. You on the right path. You said, I'm going to tell you right now, you on the right path. You said, and the people who's trying to control in the movie makes me think about society today. Ooh, the other day you're live where all the ladies flow with so much info. I was blown away. That's how our classes are. Listen, y'all, this is what we do around here. Tell them. Can I tell you this? I'm about to show you something, right? Some of these people that you came in, they started studying since they've been here, right? A lot of these people went to church. Now, not everybody, some people, okay? But how is it that in 4 years, when you remove religion, they can teach circles around people that's been in church for 50 years? And I'm talking about young people, because that young lady, she just turned 29. Now, she's been doing studies all on her own on mythology and things like that. But how is it that we got people that ain't even in their 30s that are teach, circles around pastors all day? We got probably teenagers that can teach circles around these pastors because guess what? They don't want to learn because they know if you learn something, then they can't control you. Period. Ain't no way you telling me not to get information and God said and all that getting understanding and that information is important and that his people were going to perish for the lack of knowledge and you think that's okay. Then they come in here and get mad because these young folks be on them. Because that's in book such and such a... They correct me, honey. Because sometimes my mind is going to be like, auntie. I'll be like, you right. You right. Huh? You said my son is 6 and he teaches me he's been in this class. You said he's been in this class darn near his whole life. Deacon K. Bust all our heads the other day, didn't he? He said, why do God love us? Why do Jesus even love us? Oh, never you gonna put me on the spot? You like your mama and your grandma, ain't you? Listen. You said, you said the magistrate, aka Pharisees and Sadducees. You picked that up. Listen, you said, I just realized the dragon symbol for the Targaryens is the same dragon on the alethiometer, or however it is. The spirit box. The spirit box. Isn't it crazy how all of these, when you watch the movies together, you start to see some things. Remember when we was watching the Fate saga? I said, ooh. Hold on. If you add in the Fate saga to this, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, what we watching right now, 30 coins. Y'all seeing the pieces, right? And Evil with the angel sigils. Huh? Stop right now. In my Lord of the Rings came research, I'm finding links to the Targaryens too. Get out my notebook. Niecy Poo. I'm telling you, you want to listen. That's why the Book of Og is so important. That's why they hid it, because it literally tells us about the Targaryens, and they was at the 100,000 Giant War. Interesting. So was Nimrod and Og. Now, I don't know what season y'all in, so I don't want to spoil it. I'm trying. That's why I waited late to come on here, cause I want everybody to get closer to the end before we start like getting way into it. But if you watched, you said it's out. Listen, it is okay. So who watched the Golden Compass, and then who was able to watch at least one or two episodes of his Dark Materials? Anybody? I don't know who did and who didn't. So let's get that, because I don't want to make, if you didn't get a chance to, it's okay. Side note, I saw a post and it says Cisco was the first Targaryen, and he be telling us about the dragon. I fell out laughing. Hilarious. Now, might not be lying to you. Did you go to your demon book and play with the letters? Because can I tell y'all? Okay, so can I give y'all one thing that stood out to me? Can I? Lyra is Ariel backwards. And I have a feeling that Balakra is another name for Baraquiel. And the silver tongue, well, and Azrael, come on. He Uncle Daddy, come on. Come on. And I went looking for some things with Azrael. Can I tell y'all what I found, or no? Do y'all want to hear it real quick? I'm sure y'all did too, because I know my students. Azrael lived after the flood. And in our Bible, it never says he died. It don't say, it's the EL for me. Come on. It never says he died. And he lived right after the flood. He was like Manasseh, and we know Manasseh and them. You said that ancient house of El again. Uh-oh. Okay. Azrael, Manasseh's grandson, he is a fallen one's child. I believe it. And then think about what he was trying to do. You said, and where the bear was the same location we looked up the night we... Rika! Who remembers watching The Magicians? You said in Islamic and Jewish lore, it means the angel of death. Right. 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 And I think they be mixing Azazel, and Azrael, because think about it. What Azazel did is what caused the earth to have to be flooded. Remember? Him and the 199 was up there. He's the one that made the, what's the name? Right. On the top of the mountain where the United Nations is. That, remember we talked about that being the place of the destruction of the world. That was the pact that, and they were the leaders of the world. They were the watchers. Hello. It's given the same story, right? Now, are you all paying attention to the symbols when each episode is coming on, because there's symbols there. You said there's a book in our fantasy book named that. Name what? Name. You said at the beginning, the introduction. Right. Pay attention because each one of those changes. I don't know if y'all have paid attention to that. And the golden compass, it had the sigil symbol. You said I wrote down the symbols that the compass was landing on each time she asked. Uh-oh. The authors, be Ezra or Lesra. Am I saying that right? Interesting. You said I've been rewatching Supernatural, and the mark of Cain in the show looks suspiciously like leprosy rashes. But we talked about it. We did. You said like the lady, the baby, and the lightning bolt. Right. It's okay, Lyra. I got you. I got you. Or Azrael. I got you. I listen. It's okay. So the answers is all right in front of us. And remember, I told you I was like, I be needing something new to watch, and it'd be hard for me to watch certain stuff because once you didn't put the pieces together, and you know where the names and stuff come from, you'd be like, this is real. You said reminds me of something I've seen, and I can't think of it though. Listen, hey, you're new here. Well, hello. I hope you like it. So again, now y'all understand. Remember, I was you ready to say something. So my mama used to work in the lab. I told y'all that, right? Pretty much my whole life, my mama worked in the lab, and she worked with urine, and you know, all of that stuff, right? Pee and spit and all that gross stuff. She Azrael's twin. Who is Azrael's twin? You said I can't wait for my imaginary books to get here because it is on and popping out. Okay, so we just probably gonna have to wait like 2 days because I need everybody to get as far as they can in his dark materials. But I don't even know what to say. Y'all make me real, real proud right now. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know my face just is shining. Because listen, what else? I'm excited. You said speaking of twins, I found out who Hillel or Lucifer's twin is. Who is it? Tell me. Come on. You said laugh out loud. I'm on episode 4, so I'll keep on watching and writing. Okay. No, 4 is good. Uriel. No way. You know what that's making me think about? Huh? Remember when we read that it was an angel on each side, and each angel got an ear, got a lip, got a nostril, got an eye? Remember? And one side of your body is off. Uriel, flame of God, hello, and then equals light bringer, morning star. Interesting. Interesting. So, what if Nisipu, right? All of the angels that worked on our bodies were sets of twins. You know how there's always a little bit something off? You could tell the twin, they almost look alike, but it's like they'll have a mole or whatever else it is, right? Yep, right? Well, one half of our body is a little bit off, and we know for a fact that the angels He said, let us make man. He put the image of man that he wanted on the screen, and the angels went down there and made it. It makes sense if he used sets of angels and one angel defected and the other one stayed right. You said Uriel and Heliel are counterparts. It's too much to type, but woo, it's a lot. No, I believe it. You said, yes, my twins are identical, but they look different to me. Boom. It makes sense that he would use twins. So that's crazy that you found that. That's what that's making me think about, because they're one and the same, but they're different. And this is how, which movie was it where one of them pretended to be Michael and he wasn't Michael? He was the evil angel, or he wasn't Gabriel. He was the evil brother, but he was pretending to be him. So that makes sense if they're twins. That would make sense. Because in a lot of the angel movies, they'll say, blah, 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 whatever, brother, which we know they're all brothers, but that takes it to a different level of why they only specifically fight a certain one. You said that was in the show Lucifer as well. See, I didn't even know, because I haven't watched the show Lucifer. So Nisi Poo, that makes a lot of sense. They're exact equals. You said if I could break it all down to you right now, I would. It's okay. We can ready to do it. We can ready to do it. I didn't know what type of mood y'all was in. Now, we ain't staying on till no 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing that with y'all again, because I know folks got to go to work. Okay? You said that happened in Lucifer. See, this is what I'm saying. So, and two, again, we putting the pieces together. Ain't nothing, whatever. But between us, we know what it is. Does that make sense? Huh? Because people on the outside, we are now the people from, what's the show with the little girl, 11? I can't think of it. What is it? Stranger Things. Right. No, y'all wasn't wilding. Y'all was good. Okay, Stranger Things. So we're now the Dungeons and Dragon crew. Y'all know that, right? We are the real weird kids. Y'all got y'all rainbow backpacks on. I got my knee-high socks on with the little 70s shorts. I just want y'all to know that that's us. We running through slime and everything to get the answers. You hear me? We the Dungeons and Dragons folks, okay? Just know. We are those weird kids right now. You said, yep, we're the Goonies. Right. Right. So, come on in if you feeling, That's another movie that got a lot of stuff in it, too. Seraphina Pekina, Pekla means fiery or burning one, like the seraphim. The fiery six-winged angel. What? Got my headband and 2 socks. Come on in then. Come on. Listen. Okay, so now, probably because everybody do got not real information, but a lot of information, we going to go 5-minute intervals, and then we'll get back to you. Okay? We going to do it. You said I just Googled dust. It says across different cultures and traditions, dust serves as a powerful symbol for human origins, mortality, humility, and the passage of time. Ain't that where the witches be going to get dust to bury people and stuff? Don't they go get graveyard dirt? Ain't that what they be going to get? And in certain cultures, they be cover you and they put ashes. Ashes is like dust too. You see? I believe it. Ooh-wee. They've been playing in our face. So, if you guys want to come over, we're going to do 5-minute increments and everybody can share. Then we'll get back to y'all. But just to give everybody time, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? So, if you watched Y'all know I don't gotta keep saying it. If it's your cane research, if it's your North Pole research, if it's your uh imaginary places, whatever it is that you got together, bring it. And we gonna open up the boxes. Of course, this is only for people that did their homework. There you go, a goody. Sorry, girl. I could listen. Don't kill me. I was about to call you Alicia. You said, oh yeah, and if someone puts dirt in your purse, I don't know. You said I found it interesting that Lyra's demon could change multiple forms. All the kids could. Just when they becoming a well, right, right. Yeah, no, we're not gonna tell people how to do it. I'm just saying. We not gonna we right. We not gonna cause it's young minds and stuff being here and they be like, oh, and they don't know that they it right. Opening themselves up to real magic. Real magic. You said in the three in the Northern Lights, is like the city of David. Interesting. The tree in the Northern Lights is like this. It's some stuff I want to say, but I'm just gonna be quiet. It is hard. Okay, I gotta wait till everybody get through, like through the thing. But it's so much in that show that is no, no. I'm not going to. I'm not. This is the thing, right? When I'm watching TV, y'all probably do it now. I'll run and get my books, right? I'm going to get my books. I'm going to get some books because I probably have a book somewhere around, right? Okay, see you later. So I have notes and things, but I don't want to spoil it for y'all. And I want to see what y'all see, right? So I don't want to spoil it for nobody. That's why I'm just like, I'm just going to listen. Okay? I'm just going to listen and I'm just going to listen. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to listen cuz I'm learning. It's not I can't I don't want to cuz I kind of feel like y'all got the feeling back from 22, like where everything is popping, and so then I just want to be quiet, right? And then you all get to teach people what you all have learned on your own, what God gave you, and it shows people again, right, that He talks to us about different things, but they all come together every single time. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm excited. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it or spill it. I don't want to because I want to see what y'all get. So, is y'all coming over here? You said thanks y'all for doing y'all homework. This week been rough. I'll be catching up soon. It's all right. Listen, y'all know how we do. You said I found it interesting that oh, I read that one. Okay. Right? So, y'all ready? Y'all already know. Only folks coming up is people that did research. It's okay, pumpkin. It don't listen. I don't think it'll ever be. Can I give you that? Just keep letting him build on it. Okay. Just give us what he gave you, right? We're gonna do 5 minute increments though, so everybody can get something. After that, after everybody get their little space, y'all know how y'all can do over here. I'm just listening. I'm just ready for my mind to be blown away. I wish I had some popcorn or I'll make me some. So If y'all ready to come up in the box, y'all already know it's people that didn't did their homework. Okay? On whatever. If it's Kane, if it's Lord of the Rings, if it's Golden Compass, I want y'all to share what y'all got. And don't be scared. Put the phone down or make it where they can't see you or whatever. I just want to know. Just make sure you keep your phone on mute if you ain't the one talking. Y'all know it'd be making me crazy. All right, so can y'all request to come up or do whatever? Y'all know I don't be knowing how to do this. Come on. Golden Compass were called demons. You said it reminded me of animal guidance and the shaman. Mm-hmm. You said, yes, this reminds me of 22 and 23 scavenger hunt for real. Good. Can y'all request to come up here? Come on. So I know who won or whatever. Do I got to open it? I don't know how to do this. Come on. Whoever want to share. Girl. We've been on here 4.5 years and still don't know how to do it because we didn't be worried. We won't be worried about that kind of stuff. We be worried about, do you got your pen and paper? You got your paper, your name on there? Oh, okay. You got your, oh, okay, good. Write down the date so we can get this going. Come on, y'all. Come on, Danny. Mm-hmm. You want me to request you? How do we do it the other day? I think it's ready. I think you just, there we go. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure we got everybody because they get to moving stuff around and stuff. Okay. Can you, Nicole?
It's like doing a weird echo for me. I don't.
You probably gonna have to turn off or turn your TV down. In that show. Is y'all coming over? Come on. Michael? Who else we got? Hey, y'all. If you did your homework, come on and get in this box. Life be life. No, I understand. Totally. Hey, Denny. I'm trying to get everybody up here.
Can you hear me?
I can. Nicole, maybe if I. Okay, there we go.
Okay, I had to fix something. I had to like close the app and then come back.
It's okay. You know they over here, and we don't normally do this, so they probably not even understanding what's going on. But we got some other people. Michael's coming too, so y'all give me a second. It's not. We not on Substack. We on TikTok, nephew. Do you have TikTok? We on TikTok. Oh, okay. Dang it. All right. Okay. All right. Well, fine. All right. So I guess it's just time in Nicole. Okay. Just we gonna wait about 2 more minutes. Just somebody else might want to get in. I'm gonna run to the restroom because I don't want to miss nothing. Go get y'all coffee and y'all tea and whatever y'all need because it's probably about to get real wild over here. Okay. Everybody got their stuff. Okay. Well, whenever you get together, just come on in. But go get y'all stuff. Get your blankets and whatever you need to go to the bathroom because we not holding on once I get back. Ladies, give me 2 minutes because I don't want to miss. I kept walking out the other day. I don't want to miss it. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I just want to get all my stuff out the way so I don't gotta leave. Come on. Whoever want to go first, I'm with it. Let's go. Uh-oh, somebody else done requested. Is that Michael? Diana. Enrica. Come on in, y'all. Make sure y'all got your microphones on. Enrica. Please. Come on in, y'all. Make sure y'all got your microphones on. Yeah, we can hear a echo. Come on in, y'all. Make sure y'all got your microphones on. Right on. Okay, well, Nicole, I guess you was in here first. You want to go first? Can y'all see me? I'm just going to sit and be quiet and be amazed today. Let's go. Y'all ready?
I mean, I guess I could go if nobody else want to go first.
Well, whoever. I'm here. I'm listening. Ah!
Okay, I guess I'm gonna go. So I was looking into Cain and his link to the Lord of the Rings today. So what I found was Sauron used to be a servant or a disciple of Ale, who was part of the Valar of Lord of the Rings. So starting with him, Ale was known as the Smith. He is one of the Valar, which are the angelic powers who shaped the world. So he was known as the maker of dwarves and all of that. He's a master of crafts, metal, and stone. This is where I start drawing parallels between him and the angel Uriel, because Uriel is the master of elements, frequently described as holding dominion over the physical components of nature, earth, and celestial bodies. Ale made the vessels for the sun and the moon. And in Enoch, we find that Uriel shows Enoch, the chariots of the sun and the moon, but he's also a master of matter, just like Ale was. So here in Lord of the Rings, it tells us Uriel is the one who designed and made the chariots of the sun and the moon. So, and then where I drew the comparison, or rather found that Uriel and I guess Lucifer are twins, is here in the comparison, we have Ale grew impatient for their supreme God to bring to life his creation, which were going to be the elves. The elves were to be the first men, which in this case would have been Adam, the first person. So he created dwarves of stone. He's known as a master of elements, master of matter. Uriel is also the master of matter. He's good with working with his hands, with stone. So what happened was Ale makes the dwarves, but then the supreme God comes to him and tells him, pretty much what are you doing? Why'd you do that? Herein lies the difference between him and his twin. Uriel was repentant and offered to destroy his work. And then it says in Lord of the Rings, the supreme God simply put the stone dwarves to sleep inside of the mountains until the elves fully awoke, until his creation took its first breath, really. Whereas you have Lucifer, Melkor, or Morgoth in Lord of the Rings, where it says he could not create true independent life, but twisted existing creatures to form malicious races like orcs and bred monsters like dragons. So Uriel was repentant of what he did, whereas Lucifer was completely unrepentant. Therein lies the difference between the brothers. They're two sides of the same coin, but Uriel represents virtue and repentance, because it even says here, Uriel exhibits unyielding sternness regarding repentance. In the Apocalypse of Peter is where I found this. Whereas Lucifer did not care anything about repentance. He was stubborn. He was prideful. Twins, but opposites.
Well, can I say this? So that takes us back. Remember when all the angels were bowing in Adam and Eve, and he was like, leave me alone. Why y'all keep trying to make me bow? Remember? And they was like, he gonna be rough with you. And he was like, I don't care. You remember Lucifer when he was like, I'm not bowing to man. The things made out of mud. I'm not bowing to something that was made after me in creation. I'm not gonna do that. No. I'm made of the heavens, and he's made of stone or clay or whatever else it is. So that fits right into, and then really quickly, it's making me think about one of the first things that they showed men to do was metal work.
Right. And then again, going back into the similarities to, I guess, further prove their relation, Uriel and Hel-El, really, going into Lord of the Rings, Aule and Melkor both possessed a restless desire to fashion new things and probe the secrets of matter. Uriel and Aule are the masters of matter, master builders, making them closer in initial temperament and intellect than any other two Valar. Valar is what Lord of the Rings calls angels.
The men of valor.
But get this, Valar, right? Now, I went down and I went ahead and broke down some of the words. I haven't gotten fully to Valar yet, but it sounded so much like Valyrian. And then I thought Melkor, to create his own beings, used miscegenation, and he created dragons. Valyrians ride dragons. So could this Valar, could their language be Enochian? Is High Valyrian just Enochian?
Okay, so let me ask. Okay, you said it's High Enochian. Enochian, High Valyrian. I can see that being a thing, and the reason I think that is because with all of the things that he gave his sons, remember he was tucked away, and his sons, Enoch's sons, were the only ones that were able to access the literature that Enoch had, right? So would they be considered like the holders of the citadel in a sense?
And then I went ahead and I broke down their name for God in Tolkien, which is Iluvatar. Now, I broke this down using the languages of Sanskrit, Hebrew, and Aramaic. In Sanskrit, the translation for their God's name is "Behold the air city of God." But in Hebrew, it's "Behold the chamber of God."
The elves wasn't they in the elves was the elves, the lone people that in Lord of the Rings, they was up in the Sky City, wasn't they?
Mm-hmm. And then I thought Valyrians, ancient Valyria in Game of Thrones, they lived high up in the skies, like skyscrapers, the air city.
But then
I thought back to Seth's children lived high in the mountains.
Oh.
The mountains are up in the air.
Girl, what, you just stay right there, niece. Oh, where is my book? I said, okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Go. Just, I need my.
You can tell me if my time is up. I'll stop.
It's not, just stay right there. Where is y'all? Where's our book of Og? Cause who got their book of Og? Can y'all? Oh, there it go. Hold on. You said they live high up in the mountains, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said. Okay, hold on. There we go. Page 45. The dragon siblings with white hair and blue eyes entered the 100,000 giant war from the east. The dragon siblings that told of a wealthy city in the sky. The dragon siblings who worship gods we do not know. The dragon siblings who are protected by the bright ones. The dragon siblings whose joining army added 20,000 Rephaim to the battle. The kingdom of Og hired the dragon siblings with gold stripped from Baal of the earth's temple. A curse forevermore is upon all of us for our purchase. Is that the people you was talking about? That's from the east. That Og hired, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
And here's the thing. So again, we have another parallel of brothers against brother, because in Lord of the Rings, Aule forged the physical substances of earth. Yes, he raised mountains. Again, that goes into Uriel being a master of physical components of nature and earth, raising mountains.
The mountain builders.
And he created the dwarves, which God put to sleep in the mountains until after his original creation was finished. But then we also find in Lord of the Rings that he crafted 2 of the lamps of the Valar, Doesn't God have 7 lamps in front of him?
He
Did
does.
Uriel craft these lamps?
Wow.
But then he also crafted the chains of Melkor's chains, what they used to bind him and pretty much throw him into his prison or the abyss until pretty much the final battle and everything takes place. Now, Uriel is also the guard of the Garden of Eden, right? But here's the other thing. He's also the guardian of Tartarus and creation. If Melkor or Lucifer was cast into a portal, into a different purgatory-like dimension, and Aule cast him there, would it make sense that he is the guardian of that place? Uriel is the guardian of Tartarus, purgatory, the abyss.
And
Aule
because
Uriel
he's a
are the same
metal
person.
worker, he might have been. Did he build it?
Yeah,
He built hell? Tartarus?
He's the guardian of it. He's over it.
Interesting.
So again, it's like Aule and Uriel are the same person. They're the guardians and the designers of the exact same things, and their brothers, those who they were those who they were closer with, those who are pretty much just like them, were too prideful, whereas he was repentant.
Interesting. But that makes sense, though. All of that falls into the line of what happened with Cain and Abel. Think about it. Cain was like, take this sacrifice and that it is what it is. And he thought that God was going to take it. He didn't have a repentant heart, and God already knew what was in brother against brother. Exactly. So again, we talked about the war in heaven, right? We talked about that. And we talked about how the giants were the nieces and nephews of all the angels. Right.
And we talked about Moab, right? I remember we talked about this. So I did define Valar. Val is Latin, and it means stronger, healthy. Ar means city. Did you know the city of Ar is the capital of Moab?
I did not. I did not. Now, I have studied about Ar, but I didn't know that it was the capital, of course, because when you're reading about Lamech and whatnot, I did not know that. That's interesting.
So could it have been Valar, strong city, a city of strong men?
Yes, 100% it could have been. But this, so can you stay right there? Because I looked up something from the Lord of the Rings, I believe it is. It's either Lord of the Rings or what we're watching right now. And it was Us. Is that Lord of the Rings? Us? Urus?
That sounds kind of like you are?
You are UZ. Right? And Us. Us is where Job is from, who has a brother that is the fish dude. And then is where all of the orcs was at. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's either Lord of the Rings or whatever we're watching right now.
I have to look that up because that doesn't sound familiar to me in Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so then it's probably whatever we're watching, right? It's what you call it? His Dark Materials. But it's just and Us. So you're saying AR, right? Is the head of Moab, and we know that there were giants there. You're saying there were giants in AR, and then there was also giants or mythical beings. You said this person, you're not Uriel, Hellel. Is it Hellel or Uriel that made the monsters?
It was Hellel who made the monsters, Melkor, Morgoth. And that made me think again, while we're talking about Ar and Moab, I said, could that be like another way they also said because we just talked about if the orcs raided Uruk and he created the orcs, they invaded. Like you can tell me if I'm reaching a little too far here.
No, because I'm about to screenshot something. What I just tell you, I was looking at Us, and I'm like, wait a minute. But they said Urez, and it made me think of Perez, right? Like the Spanish folks, Perez, right? Or any of those, versions of that, right? So look at this. Hold on one second. Because I was literally looking it up. I want to say this morning. So the land of Uz is supposed to be basically, well, I could just show y'all. So you see this Uz, right? You see where Egypt is. Can you see it? This is like Jerusalem and that whole area right there. Everything that's going crazy right now, right? Y'all see it? Now hold on. I said, okay. It says in the Bible, and Uz are two distinct ancient locations with different roles, right? Was modern day Iraq. We know that. And hold on one second. So they're saying that's Jordan, Syria, and northern Arabia, right? So in whatever it is that we are watching now, the place where they went was Uruz, right? And I'm like, oh, hold on, Kiva. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, I'm wondering if exactly what you said, because it was mighty people and it was giants that lived in both of those cities, and they were the holders of ancient knowledge, and they were metal workers and things like that. They built some of the biggest things in civilization. So I think that what you're saying is exactly true, as far as maybe R being another version of or either one of their, just like Ireland is another city that the people of you know what I'm saying? Like they controlled, so it makes sense. And I'm gonna be quiet. You said it symbolizes raw primal energy, health, and endurance. Uruz. Hold on. Okay, look. Uruz is the second rune of the Elder Forthrock. How do you say that? It symbolizes raw strength, primal energy, health, and endurance. So we on to something, niece. Primal energy is what created what you was talking about, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Primal energy created matter, right? Or no?
Right.
Ain't that kind of how what they try to sell us in the Big Bang Theory? That there was a primordial sludge and there was a power source, and those two matched up, and then cells started to multiply. Ain't that what they told us in evolution or whatever? Or no?
Yeah. Okay. And see, it's funny you say power, because this is what made me correlate Melkor to Lucifer again. Because, again, he can't create anything, but we're told through Tolkien's world that Melkor poured his own native power into the very physical fabric of the earth, meaning gold, metals, and growing things bore a hidden stain of his malice. He sowed malicious seed to mess with the original creation.
Two things. The genes, right? So does that mean that Cain is his son? Because that would alter him. The thing about it is the giants had gold veins, silver veins. This is where we get those veins in the mountains. And it says that he sold gold and what else into the earth? He sold his native power into the physical fabric of the earth. Physical fabric of the earth. Now, if mankind was created from the dirt, does that not make it a physical fabric of the earth? It does. But think about this too. Remember we talked about some of the angels that did die in the first war. Some of those angels were diamond encrusted and all of that, right? When they fell or were slung to earth or fell to earth, it's almost like on the video games where the coins is being knocked out of them, and the jewels that are in the earth right now. Could that possibly be? Because we got the picture of Lucifer with all of the beryl and onyx and all of this on him. But what do men use to do magic? The
They
crystals
use
and the
crystal.
jewels that they find, that's what's in it.
Mm-hmm. And then I did more research into Uriel or Ale, and because he created the dwarves, they called him Mahal, right? Now, Mahal in Arabic means dilute or weaken, a diluted group of people, but it also means in Hebrew, volunteers from abroad. Now, I was saying this to my mom earlier, that's probably where I was getting on her nerves, but if Uriel is an angel and he does not exist on the earth, he's not on the earthly plane, he's from the celestial plane, and he came down and did something or created something, and just like he sowed a plant or a seed in the Garden of Eden, does that not make him a volunteer from abroad?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, the whole "let us make man" thing is making more and more sense every day.
Because, and then more about warring brothers. Uriel sowed a seed. He put a nut tree in the Garden of Eden, whereas his brother put in a vine in the Garden of Eden. So if you know about vines, if you put a vine next to a tree, those vines will overtake that tree to stop it from getting nutrients and try to kill the tree. So from the very beginning, we have his brother, his twin, sowing a seed that was going to destroy what was put forth to create and to help.
Does that not go along with what we read the other day about him putting his spit on the seed and putting it into the ground, and then his actual essence growing up into the tree? Was you here when we read that the other day?
Yep.
When he put his spit on it? OMG. And that would be him physically sowing his seed into the earth as well, not just into woman, but also that makes more sense as to why the plants were cursed. Because if he planted a vine, vines can, they'll overtake a house. It can start with one vine and it'll overtake a house as well. Not only think about the houses that are covered in vines, it starts up and branches off. If certain vines are a predatory plant, and like you said, if it's going to strip all the nutrients out, vines can take over whole forest and everything like that. So what if when he sowed that seed with his spit on it, it started to, like, it's like almost like when it spreads to the roots. Like if you get, what is it, spider mites or whatever, they actually burrow into the plant, and any plant that comes near that, right, the spider mites can, I don't know if it's jump, I don't know how they get over there, but they start to kill off the plant from the inside out. What if it's like on Avatar, with him sowing his seed into the earth, that it started to spread to the roots, because that's what he's always trying to mess up, is the roots.
Right. And then it got me thinking, he sowed a vine into the garden, and this vine caused Eve to sin. Now, we constantly hear about drunkenness in the Bible, right? What if it was a grapevine? Because wild grapevines will climb nut trees to reach sunlight and block the tree's leaves from the sun, which will eventually add heavy weight from the grapes growing and snap the branches of the tree. So what if the reason we are so warned about drunkenness and whatnot, and they were always drinking wine then, what if it was a grapevine?
Well, that would make sense as to why Jesus started saying that he was the vine, right? And he talked about the healing the vine, healing the earth, healing all of that. It seems like that could be, I mean, because think about it, even Samson, a lot of the people that God wanted to use at a specific time, their mothers, when they were pregnant, couldn't drink anything off of a vine. It didn't even matter if it was just grapes. Any vined fruit, they were not able to access it. Like
Right.
they, like, go ahead.
Yeah, that wine leads to drunkenness. And now, look at it right now. How much sin does drunkenness lead to?
Oh, a lot. Well, we talked about that when the spirits, and then you black out, you don't remember what's going on, and that's when the entities take over. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. So listen, we're gonna pause you right there. Don't go nowhere. Danny, we're gonna let you get in, and then we gonna come back to this because I know whatever y'all got everything to do with what we going on with.
Okay, so mine is on the Golden Compass, basically.
Okay.
And so the main thing that kind of like it wasn't them, it was a whole bunch of stuff, but just to keep the time frame. What I was like, what really stood out in my head was when they were talking about the gobblers, right? And so when she was in the office and she was looking for the paperwork, and she was like, General Oblation Board, and her animal, her demon. That part right there is crazy to me too, because a spirit guide and y'all calling them demons, but okay, whatever. The General Oblation Board. And so when I looked up oblation, it says the act of making an offering, especially to a deity. And we know what they're doing, what the gobblers are doing with the children. They're taking the children and cutting them, right? That's what they called it, cutting. And so what made me really be like, what's going on here was when we were having that class about the magnet schools, because basically the gobblers were like a corrupt institution of power. And we had that one class when we were talking about different types of magnet schools and how they have the different types of children who they know have certain special abilities. It was the same thing. Now the children are the ones who have the pureness. So like everybody has demons in the movie, but only the children had that ability to where the dust would affect them, is what they were saying. And so like it was like this big old secret society situation. And so I'm like, okay, this is kind of giving secret societies today.
Yeah.
How they hide in plain sight. How they go after the children because they know you have special abilities and whatnot. And I was just like, Jordan College? Why is it Jordan College? It could have had any other name. Okay, what else is in my notes? I'm not trying to take too long. So
no, come on, you want it, girl? Get it. Listen, I'm. The reason I'm saying that is because it makes me think of even right now too. How many people go to elite colleges and they have to sell their soul when they get there?
Fraternities, like we were talking about on Friday's class, the frat. Yeah, it's a whole big old circle, and it always keeps connecting right back to where we start from the beginning. I was just like, man, you're giving an oblation, so all of it is spiritual, obviously. So it makes sense that they would be taking they would be gobbling these children up, basically. And then even in that sense, right? Because we know what we're talking about in now terms, right? When they talk about all these children going missing, and they saying they're not missing, they know where they at. You know, we in our food restaurants and all these things like that. You named them gobblers. Like you could have picked any other name. You chose gobblers.
Come on now.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Like maybe I'm reaching, but it was that's what I was thinking about. Basically.
No, you're not reaching it out. Michael says, adding a Danny in computing daemon. In computing, a daemon is a computer program that runs quietly in the background instead of under the direct control of the user.
Exactly like the spiritual things, because they didn't control them. The spirits were like there for a guide, like to help. So it's running quietly in the background. Like how every time she would do something and Pam would tell her don't, but she would do it anyway or whatever it was. It's not her. It doesn't tell her what to do, but it tries to guide her, spiritually guide her. So you still have the power, but it's running quietly in the background, like how Michael was just saying. Interesting.
It kind of ties into what Nicole was saying about two spirits and they're opposing each other, but they're kindred to each other, they're connected to each other, but their goals and what they plan to do is different. One is wanting to help humanity and one is wanting to tear humanity apart. You know what I mean? Right. To disconnect you from the connection that you have with Christ. And think about it. They was because in the show, their demon is their soul on the outside of their body.
Correct.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on back in, Nicole.
Okay, just to answer that real quick, how she brought up children and the gobblers. Did y'all know in ancient Acadia or Akkad, they say that due to hunger, extreme hunger, or sometimes desperation, whatever the circumstance, that the people did eat their own children?
Nicole, that's where I was going. That's why I said that, because I was getting ready to go into the book in Kings where they were starving and they was eating their kids. Y'all know
And
that
then-
story, right?
And then in ancient Moab, they did practice child sacrifice, so they were
eating their kids, exactly.
Yep.
Goblin. Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
In too. And in Phoenicia as well, in Canaan, they was eating their kids. Come on now, because these people were sacrificing. They, again, the same way. So remember us talking about them all worshiping the same gods, right? I don't know how far y'all got on His Dark Materials, but there's something in that show that looks exactly like an award. And I don't know if y'all have heard the word in there, guild. Like the Writers Guild.
Yeah, the guild. What is it? The SAG? Is it the SAG Award or SAG Award or something like that?
Okay, pay attention to that, right? Because remember, in the book, in our giant book that we got, the little small one, it says that you said they were sacrificing their babies to these planets, right? And whole time an angel created, even though God had an idea of what He wanted, the angels created the actual material. Because remember, they always say that God is an unseen Father, right? He's an unseen Father. He made Jesus so that humans could actually see God in the flesh, right? So if you think about, hold on. You said, wow, like how our apps do in the background, right? If you think about, that just made me, what was I saying right before that, y'all? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read comments over here. What was I saying right before that? Anybody remember? What was we talking about?
I just drew a blank. I was literally. What was we talking about? The celebs. Is that what we're talking about? No, that wasn't it. The Golden Quill, the award.
The awards, and okay, they worship everybody, all the elite, right? They worship fallen angels. We know this. All of their awards, the jewels they wear, the roles that they play, are allegiance to whatever god that they're worshiping there, right? What did that little girl Allie say about the stars? The little black girl, the black young lady, she said there's tunnels under Hollywood. All of the things that they were doing in the cities that y'all just mentioned, right? They do in the hills of Hollywood. Everything that you and Nicole just mentioned, they do to the children in Hollywood. Okay? They drain their blood, they eat them, right? They abuse them, they use them for their rituals, and it's all to gain power from who? The fallen angels.
And then I also thought about the part where Lyra is basically like a prophetic, like she's like the chosen child in a prophecy that they all know. The witches knew about her, the Egyptians knew about her, like everybody knew about this one child, and she could do whatever it was that she needed to do with the golden compass. That, what is it?
The alethiometer.
Yeah.
Listen, all I'm gonna say, okay. Oh, no.
It was one more thing that I wanted to but I can't remember exactly what it was that I was thinking about, so I'll let somebody else go.
Interesting.
Oh wait, it was about the magistrate. How every time somebody would say, well, when Lyra talked about the dust, when she was talking to Miss Coulter, and then when her uncle was trying to get money to go to the North Pole, the magistrate gave him the money, but only to turn around and send the Samoan people to kidnap him because they didn't really want him to get there. And so it was like the whole authorities trying to have control, because it talks about there's different worlds and how the knowledge they wanted to be, it was basically an apostasy. They were saying everybody else is apostasies, and you know what they wanted it to be is what it's going to be, and they can't have nobody else finding out any other information like we do here. That's kind of how it just brought up WOIU in my head, because I'm like, That's what it's giving. Like, we be trying to find and put the pieces together, and we getting information, and y'all be telling us we're not supposed to know this, or it don't matter, or it don't have nothing to do with salvation, or you know, we in a reprobate mind, and all the crazy stuff they be telling us.
Hold on.
That's what it's giving.
The magistrate like the Catholic Church, ain't they?
Yeah, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, that whole spirit. Yeah, basically. Control the Jezebel. Like, they want you to know what they want you to know, and nothing else outside of that. That's all they want you to have.
Even though they use the same techniques that they demonize.
Right. And they know what it is that you're gonna find, which is why they don't want you to find it.
Interesting.
Like, they know there's power in it, but they don't want you. Just like how Jesus talked about it. In Matthew 23, you know you ain't getting there, so you're trying to keep it, make it impossible for everybody else to get there, because you know you ain't getting it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. Is that?
I'm paused. I'm good.
Okay. Cause I wanna get to A Goody and Rika, and then we gonna bust this wide open, and I'm gonna just let it go. Cause guess what? Everything that you all are saying, if you think about it, again, I used to tell y'all the easiest way to hide something is in plain sight. I don't know if y'all believe that now or not, but the easiest way to hide something is in plain sight. Do you hear me? And as y'all can see from the books, the movies, and everything, we seeing, it's right in our face with the bloodlines, with the angels, the creation.
It's right in our face.
Diane, you gotta put your. Okay, who want to go next? A Goody or Rika? A Goody didn't. Okay.
It don't matter. I just was mine. You know, I'm still in my imaginary book.
It's okay.
Okay, so I've looked up a bunch of different places today, but one stuck out to me. Gnome Land, about the gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
It said the realm of, well, it says Gnome Land. So if you got the book, sis, go ahead and pick it up, and Gnome Land. It says Gnome Land, the realm of King Roquat of the Rocks, in the extensive caverns beneath the mountains of the north of Ev, which is EV. It says the gnomes are rock fairies, small and agile creatures, the color of the rocks among which they live. Their bodies are rough and jagged as though cut from the rock itself. It says they are extremely strong and have very well developed muscles from working in the mines below their caves. It says travelers are advised that it is difficult and dangerous to visit Gnome Land, which can only be reached by crossing the narrow mountain gorges in the far north of Ev. It says at its narrow west point, the path is obstructed by a giant who pounds the road with a huge iron hammer. The giant is in fact a machine constructed by the company of Tinker or Smith of Eve, or Ev. It says the people who also listen. This is what took me. It said the people who also made TikTok, a machine man who is now a respected citizen of Oz. It says the only way to get past the giant
No. What you don't get to do is just hop over that. Go back, because I'm looking for the gnome page. Did you say TikTok?
I did.
And keep going. I'm listening.
It says a machine man who is now a respected citizen of Oz. I said, oh. So even though, they try to tell us, Oz is fictional or whatnot, I said, oh, okay then. So he live over there in Oz. Oh, okay then. And then it says, the only way to get past the giant is to run under the hammer while it is in the air. And even then, it is not easy to enter Gnome Land. The hidden door in the rock face will open only if King Roquat thinks one's request to be admitted is sufficiently humble and respectful. And then it says, inside the door, a tunnel lit by flaming jewels leads to Roquat's throne room, where he can usually be found smoking on his throne, a somewhat clumsy structure carved from a boulder and studded with emeralds, rubies, diamonds, and all that. But that's what really had behooved me, because it had said TikTok. So I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm just thinking about, that's crazy, about the caves where they find all the jewels and stuff. And then again, where they go down there and there are these intricately carved cities that are several hundred feet tall with the apartments in the rock. That's who was carving them? The gnomes and hold on, because Nicole, that go along with what Nicole was saying.
With the elves. It was something else I read too, which I've been looking for while she was reading. It said something else about the elves and the building and being up on the high mountains. I'ma find it and I'ma come back to it. You give me a second.
Interesting.
And it was all in this imaginary book.
Interesting. Okay.
Y'all mind if I say something real quick?
Nope, go ahead.
You said the elves in the high mountains in Lord of the Rings. You have the elves of Rivendell, which is actually in a deep valley, which is high within the Misty Mountains. But what really got my attention about what she said was a giant metal man, right? And a god with a hammer who made them. If you look at the Greek pantheon, Hephaestus is the god of like metal workings and all of that. And his tool is literally a giant hammer. And he made the giant Talos, a giant machine man made of bronze who was actively the guardian of the island of Crete. Now, if you go to Crete, Crete is also where Europa was from, and Crete is also the home of the Minotaur.
The monsters. So Cain's line.
All right, then.
Basically. I'm almost willing. You said he was AI too.
Oh, one more thing about Talos. Talos was completely, he could work independently, like to fulfill his duty. So basically, yes, he was. But Talos, he also worked using golden ichor, which was the golden blood of the gods.
Okay, so all I'm gonna say is, it's better when we work. You said y'all got me screaming. I need to relax. Are you coming in class? Is that what you want to do?
One more thing. In Hollywood, they call the gold juice. They call it gold juice, and it's plasma. They are still drinking the gold juice
out of golden goblets, in secret parties, in gardens, where they do all sorts of sin in the high mountains to their gods. Yes. Okay. So again, stay right there with the plasma. Now, going back to what I was saying in the beginning of class, I told y'all my mama worked in a lab, right? So remember I told y'all that God had me studying, is sin regenerative? And the way that he had me look that up was cells and blood and all of that kind of stuff, which took me down the genetics and people that have more iron in their blood versus, another type of metal. And it made me think, because again, the whole gold vein thing, if we are the descendants, because the earth has not been destroyed anymore, right? If you don't have enough chrome in your pancreas, or whatever it is, it won't work effectively. Well, and then it could be because of your specific bloodline that your body doesn't break down. This certain thing doesn't carry through your blood the way that it needs to, right? So it made me think about the angels. If we all are descendants in one way or another of these beings that had gold blood, silver blood, whatever veins that they find in our mountains that are now, falling over angels, it makes you wonder why, if you put this specific metal in your body, then it'll work the way that it's supposed to. And blase skip. I mean, when you look at how everything goes, the blood, prime example, red clay dirt. A lot of women crave red clay dirt while they're or cornstarch while they're pregnant, right? If this being used to be alive, could that be us having, like, I mean, I don't want to say cannibalistic type deals, but if a lot of our earth is made out of things that were fallen and have decayed or whatever else it is, when you look at certain bloodlines, like to eat all of their meat is where as they can get it. Where does that come from? Right? Certain people have certain deficiencies. Is that because that is our tie into what was sown into the garden early on? Do you get what I'm saying? The bloodlines, all of this stuff, if they were tracking bloodlines way back when, I smell the blood of an Irishman, I can smell the this in your blood, right? Is it that Cain's, I'm sorry, real, uh-huh. No, go ahead. I'm just saying. And this is something kind of, but we're studying the bloodlines. We're studying who made certain things, where certain things were sown, certain plants, poisonous plants, this, that, and the other. Because remember, one angel taught the anecdote, one angel taught the poison. It's making me think about what Nicole said about one angel being good. If there are a lot of them are twins, would that be the angel that has sold the poison, and then the other angels taught the anecdote to the poison? Is that the good and the bad of that deal? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, but it's just making my mind go through a whole bunch of different things. Bloodlines, the rocks and stuff. Little kids or different people suck on rocks, and is it because they're from that bloodline? Because they always talking about how these rocks is giving you power, and it is energizing yourself through the earth, and all of these different things. What if that was all started by what you said, Uriel and Hillel, and then also with them being underneath the ground, the melanin leaving their bodies, all of these different things? It just makes me wonder about how it is all put together, what we are missing as far as the bloodlines, the beings that have been here for a very long time, and how closed our eyes are to everything that's happening. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Lucifer sold his what essence into the earth, right? Even though Jesus came back and healed it, there's still poison and things like that here. So it's my mind is going a lot of different places, and I know this is crazy, but I'm just thinking about dwarfism. I'm thinking about the bloodline of the people that you all are talking. Like, my mind is all over, right? Because how do they determine your genetic disorder? Through your blood, right? Is that how? I mean, physical care.
You right.
Right, that's how they trace it. So if the fallen angels that were here in the construction of everything that we see and don't see, some of them fell, and they are tracking bloodlines, it makes sense as to why the whole genetics thing and being obsessed with genetic disorders. I'm just, my mind is all over the place because, again, matter, right? is huge right now, occupying space and changing the form of matter. All of these different things, it's all over the place for me. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'm thinking about the research I did with my mom with the blood. I'm thinking about the genealogy, things that I've studied, thinking about the rocks and the different elements and everything. It's like all of my stuff is coming right here. So I'm sorry, y'all having to hear me spit out stuff that don't make no sense, but it's making sense to me over here.
That makes a lot of sense because, like you just said, matter. If Uriel is a master of matter and Hel-El is his twin, then that would make them both masters of matter, which would mean the changing of that matter is something that the evil twin is doing, which takes me back to the good and bad, and you know how one angel works on one half, the other works on the other, and if they're twins, yin and yang.
So
and then it also go back to when, I'm not gonna say the name of the book, but yeah, when they was working on the body, I remember we read that. I remember reread that.
And then dust is also matter. And so, like in the Golden Compass, when they pass off, whenever they take them out, their demon turns into dust. Is that not the answer?
Oh, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
oh my, oh, you can't see
And
the
I was just
spirit no
agreeing
more.
with you, sis. I was just agreeing with you because my mind is everywhere about it's something about these white mountains in the Middle Earth, which brings, whenever they say it, I be thinking about the Caucasian mountains.
Oh, the Caucasus
And then
Mountains.
what you were just saying about like how some people like eat dirt and they crave it, I was just thinking there's a bird that does that, and the bird that does it is the parakeet, and the parakeet is associated with Andal, which is a god, which is an incarnation of Bhumi. It's like a Hindu god. But then I thought Andals, the Targaryens, they conquered the Andals. Remember the Rhoynar, the Andals, the first men. The Targaryens conquered them. That takes me back to the giant war. The dragon riders were the Andals part of that war, and that is why the dragon riders came in and defeated them.
Hold
That's
on.
how they became Andal of
You
the
said
Rhoynar.
during Ash Wednesdays, the phrase, remember that you are dust and you shall return. I'm sorry. I'm listening to y'all. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, remember niece, Andal was Andal that was opening. Remember he was like open the Bifrost Andal in Thor.
Heimdall, yeah, it was Heimdall.
Yeah.
So is Heimdall and Andal? Is he one of those like species of giant? like,
Well, you know they'll add a H or a C right in front of it, so you don't think that that's the same person. So
it could be.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm looking up because I think that name might be in this giant. You said Andal?
Andal. Andal.
I feel like that's one of the giant. I could be wrong.
And then I'm looking at this, like more of these deities associated with this bird that does eat dirt, and the disease, or not the disease, but the it's called pike or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm looking at it, and one of them is Matangi, the tantric goddess of inner wisdom. The new character in the new Moana movie is Matangi. Her literal name is Matangi.
Okay. In the new, you said Moana movie, and she's a what?
She's another goddess. I don't know how they work with the deities in Pacific Islander culture or whatever, but her name is Matangi.
Was she the one that was in the
that
ground area? That one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That lady.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. So, two things. I told y'all they be telling y'all kids the truth about the demons. They be showing them so that then they want the stuffed animal. You said weight peakers when people have low iron and crave odd things, not food, like paint and stuff. Yes, and the foam stuff and all of that, which makes their stomachs mess up.
And those are that disorder or that eating of like that dirt and stuff because it makes you crave that is associated with different breeds of birds. So are these people descended of bird people?
So they're the Seckle syndrome people. Is that what you're saying? Because Seckle syndrome is bird syndrome.
Kind of what I'm thinking. Like, even if they don't have physical traits, could it have been somewhere down in the bloodline?
Interesting. It very well could be. I'm sorry. Okay, Michael said Andal, also known as Goda Divi or Kothai. Hold on. That's one. Ain't that one of the sons? Kohath? Could that be one of Kohath's sons? Or Kothai was an 8th or 9th century
even though they
Hindu.
don't look like birds, they have the some traits because with the Gad, like the men of Gad, they have the 6 fingers and 6 toes. Like for myself, if my fingers were to be grown all the way out, they wouldn't look like your regular fingers. They would look like a deformity, basically. Because I know somebody who actually has theirs that wasn't removed, and they have fingernails and everything on them, but they're not like your normal hands. But the giants, their fingers look like your normal. So like it's an adaptation of that deformity. So even in that, it looks weird, but it's still the same situation.
Yeah.
See,
Go ahead.
that's crazy because me and Queen was doing a research on that Pika stuff a couple years ago. I gotta find my stuff. That's crazy.
Then if you go and look at it, if you change just one letter in Pika, there's Puka or Puka, which is from the Celtic tradition, and it is a legendary fairy known for unpredictable, capricious nature. So it's a trickster. But then if you go to Roman or Latin, there was the king Picus. He was an agricultural deity also associated with the woodpecker, a birdman.
Give me a sec, because I read something about a bird today on one of these islands. You know what?
You said you
They
know
literally
what?
called him the woodpecker king.
Okay. So 2 things real quick. They call him the woodpecker, Pika, Pika, Puka. Because it's a puka bird. It is a puka bird, right? Ain't that one of the birds is it in Moana? What was that chicken's name? The chicken that was on the boat with her.
That was a hey.
Hey. Okay, wrong name. But what kind of bird?
He was a chicken, but when I was a kid, there was a show called Puka, and it was this girl who had like superhuman abilities chasing after some boy, adamant that she was gonna make him love her, make him be her husband. And her name was Puka, and she literally was super fast, super strong, and had uncanny combat abilities. It looked like a silly little cartoon, but she literally had all these superpowers.
Interesting. So let me ask y'all a question. Going through all of this, even going through the stuff now in y'all mind of all of the movies you've seen, everything that you've seen, what is it like? What does it make you feel? Just one word, if you could put it into one word, because I found something too I wanted to share, because y'all said Andal or Andar or something like that, and there's somebody in here that they might have played with in our face. You said pukas can turn into dogs, goats, horses, hares, and donkeys. Hold on. Excited. You said excited. What y'all got up here? Nicole, Danny, A Goody, Rika, and Diane. What y'all got? If you could give one word.
Excited.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say flabbergasted because they just forever keep playing in our faces.
And do.
Shooketh. And I'm gonna say speechless.
So
there's a couple things that I kind of noted in the conversation tonight, and I'm pulling my hair because I think earlier Taj had mentioned Valyria.
Yes.
Was it Valyrian? Okay.
Valor and Valyrian. I'm sorry.
And it's a root. It helps with sleep and relaxation, and it'll give you crazy dreams, honestly. So that was the first thing that popped up in my mind. And then there was a movie called Valerian and 1,000 Planets or something like that. It's a sci-fi movie. And the premise of that movie was that all these creatures from different planets lived on pretty much a mega spaceship, and they lived peacefully together until like some evil being came and tried to destroy it. And so that's the two things that stuck out with that conversation. And then when we were talking about Earth, I started pulling my hair because, they play with words. So could the root or the root of Earth be because it's started off as land of the giants? The giants are now petrified or, part of the Earth. And if we're made from Earth, then potentially, most of us would have that DNA. They call Earth Mother Earth and all this stuff.
OMG.
Earth. Yeah, I was like, ooh. I wanted to talk, but I didn't. And then, what else? I think it was Reek had mentioned Oz.
Yes.
In the show, there was like a couple episodes in Supernatural, so that's what I've been binge watching lately. They had a door. The Menoletters had a key to a door to Oz, and the magician of Oz, he like split into two. One was on this side of the earth, and then he was the king of Oz or whatever. So if anything happened to his split side on Earth, like if he got hurt or anything, and he was an old Menoletters, I think, in that show. But if he was hurt, then the guy on Oz in that alternate dimension would get hurt in the same way. So he had to hide out on Earth. And also, when we were talking about Oz, I had to think about the three characters, which was the Iron Man or the Tin Man, the Lion-Headed Man, and the Straw Man. So I was like, what those characters represent? We already have been talking about Iron lately. And then we've talked about the Lion-Headed Man. But I haven't, the Lion-Headed Man of...
Moab. The lion.
Moab. And so I was like, okay, so who is the strong man in all of this? Like, where is he from? So I'm doing that little study. But those are the things that I kind of noted on this conversation. My research has kind of been, you kind of sparked my interest. I think the other day when we were talking about Moses, I went into Moses and the magician that tried to tell the Pharaoh that he needs to get rid of him. And then later on with the donkey.
Balaam.
Yes, Balaam. And so I went into a whole different rabbit hole this week on donkeys. I had a whole study of donkeys. And my shock was the parallels between Abraham's travel up the mountain and Jesus's travel on Palm Sunday or whatever towards his sacrifice. So those two sacrifices have parallels that are just almost identical to each other. The way they traveled to the place and how Abraham's son he had pinned him to the wood just like Jesus was pinned to the cross. Mm-hmm. So that's my little rabbit hole, but I'm enjoying these conversations.
Oh.
I'm writing notes, so I've been quiet a lot, just writing away.
Well, listen, I'm happy, and that ain't no little homework. Nobody in here has done little homework, because I guarantee y'all this. Y'all is busting everybody's head and mine too. Okay? Amazing that you are putting all of these things together. Nicole, Danny, all of y'all, because this is the thing. We talk about the Tower of Babel, right? And y'all have heard me say, you said my background is crazy. It's okay. Y'all have heard me say that, is people trying to get in here? Who is these people? Oh no, some of these people I don't know. I don't think. You gotta tell me what your real name is on YouTube so I can know if you the person that did some homework. Cause we just not letting random people in. It was somebody in here trying to argue. Did y'all see it? We just been ignoring them. We don't do all that over here. They just laughing and wanting some attention, and I didn't give them any because I'm listening to my student teachers today. So with that, I'm grateful to you guys for all of your research. I know that y'all busting my head. I know that y'all busting everybody else's head. And when I say y'all got my mind running through a good 12 years of study right now, because even just going back to the Oz thing, what if Oz is us? If Oz is us and all of these stories are the same, if we go back to the Tower of Babel, it makes sense as to why all of these names are right. Oz, us, are, and I believe what was the other exactly? The wizards and the land of Uz, right? Yeah, go ahead, Nisi Poo and Emerald City, right?
Okay,
Right.
she kind of got me thinking for a minute there about the wizards and how there was two of them and what happened to one happened to that universe. And for some reason, it made me think of Gog and Magog. Because those were the twin brothers. And then she said valerian root, which made me think back to what I said about, the vine. And I'm like, how deep do like grape roots, like they're, because it's a vine, penetrate the earth? And we know from talking about it, we said that Adam was like 30 feet tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about grape roots can extend up to 30 feet in the soil?
Wow. It's so as tall as Adam and Eve were. And think about this. In Canaan, didn't they say a grapevine was so big that two men had to carry it? When the spies went over there, they a bushel of grapes. It said two
That's
men.
what I was thinking about.
So I'm wondering if that was the gene splicing. If you saying the roots went 30, and God said they was gonna be able to get vineyards, that they didn't plant, and all of this. If the giants or the fathers of the angels were there that planted the original garden, what did that fruit look like? Because they said everything over there was extra size. Is that like the Jack and the Beanstalk type deal? Is what I'm wondering. Because if the roots to a grapevine go 30 feet, and that's right, and that's as tall as a human, the humans was at that time. How big was their grapes? And that would probably be a lot of wine as well, and maybe that's where that drunkenness came from too. Because don't they genetically modify or bioengineer the grapes right now to, one, not have no seeds, but to also be a perfect type of way? Miss Nicole, is that like?
They do splice. They do.
So I just looked it up and it said a single bushel of grapes that take 2 men to carry it would be about house sized.
Are you serious?
Like it would be massive, like a small house. Now, of course, I'm trying to say, oh, that couldn't really happen. It's not real. But if that's the case, these grapes would have had to have been like 1,000, 2,000 pounds. So how big were the men carrying them?
Right.
And if they were that size and were able to carry that, even if it took two of them, how big were the people they were fighting?
Okay.
I think that the people in Canaan are the same size as the people that we see in the statues in what's the name? And
Lord of the Rings.
well, you know the Egyptian statue I show y'all where it's the one sitting down is the other giant and then the little people. I think that those people that are standing next to the throne, I think that's Joseph Neal. Like all the people that God put into place there. Because think about it, they was always the person, the advisor to the king or whoever else. And remember that Joseph Nim fought Bill South and all of those other giants, and they were the ones ripping people apart. And this is all in that time when Canaan was moving around and stuff. I'm thinking that even though they weren't the 450 foot tall or 250 foot tall people, I'm thinking that they are the people that was right there. Because if that guy stood up, they would still be super small to them. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, it was 20 foot and 30 foot giants. So what if Joseph Neal was, well, we know because King Bilsaf, I think he was 22 feet. The guy that
lived for such a long time, you would have to be big to be living 900 something years.
Right. Right.
And then with the Jack and the Beanstalk, we were mentioning, I think the last time we were live, how Seth was in the mountains and I think Cain was in the valleys. So that made me think of the Jack and the Beanstalk story where he had to climb the beanstalk, which usually beanstalks, well, there could be pole beans, which are typically vining, and then there's, bush beans, which are a bush. So if it was a vine all the way up to the giants, I just lost my track of mind. Train of thought.
A bush or beans? I'm listening. And the stalk.
Wait,
So
the vine.
it was
The vine.
What if that's how Cain and them fought with Seth's kids? What if they climbed up there like Jack and that doggone beanstalk?
It very well could be.
I said, so I typed in how much could a 30-foot person carry? Because if we're saying that these grapes were the size of houses, so it says a 30-foot person would weigh about 67,500 pounds. So
a 30-foot person?
A 30-foot person. That is 33.7 tons.
How much do a 16-wheeler weigh? I mean, whatever they ain't 16. Well, how many wheels is on that? On a truck? And they got, I think their weight thing is 37,000 pounds or something like that, which means that freaking
and if they
18-wheeler, I'm sorry,
tall, they could carry 11,250 pounds.
We did say that they were giants, just a different size giant. They had to be.
So even though they were the smallest or the weakest of the clans, if that's a clan of giants, 30 feet to somebody who's 200 feet is tiny.
Exactly.
A grasshopper, like you said.
Exactly.
So that checks out. They were as grasshoppers to them, and it took two of them to carry what is essentially a 23,000-pound grape, which if you're 200 feet tall, that makes sense.
Hold on 1 second. Y'all nephew want y'all to look up, and cousin, Lord Vishnu's tower, right? And see if that looks like what's in Washington, the tower in Washington, D.C. And he said, tell him if that looks like the tower in Babel to y'all.
Lord Vishnu. Oh, wow.
Vishnu.
And while y'all doing that, I'm going to go. And I'm just going to tell y'all this. We have the most amazing conversations over here.
Look at me talking about where you finna go, girl. Because sometimes
I got to run to the restroom. I done been drinking coffee and water.
Huh? Go to the restroom. Go.
Go to the rich room. Go. I'm gonna wait till you come back.
Okay. All right.
Too, but I'm gonna wait too.
Okay. Well, y'all gonna do whatever y'all need to do. I'm not. It's fine. I'll be right back.
Is it Vishnu, the Indian goddess?
Vishnu
Or
is
Vishnu?
like because the top of it actually does look like the tower, like the part of the tower that was left over.
But yeah, back to the Jack and the Beanstalk thing. The Jack was poor, just like Cain was, left in the dust in the valley, and then he went up to the riches above the clouds. And so I was like, is that a model to?
He got the riches by stealing from the giant in the cloud.
Yep.
It's literally the Flintstones and the Jetsons, just supersized.
Yep. I was like, oh, and when you started talking about this vine, I was like, because like in the movies or whatever, it looks like a vine, little kid movie or whatever. It looks like a vine creeping up, and vines grow upwards towards the sun.
They do. They climb up. And since we were talking about vines, right? When y'all started talking about, well, I think it was Nicole. She started talking about the vines, and then Goody started talking about the vines. It made me think of a study I had done. This was like a long time ago. You know how we always talk about the mustard seed, right? And it's talking about having faith the size of a mustard seed, but it's not necessarily the size of a mustard seed, because what I ended up doing was studying the characteristics of a mustard seed and then the tree that it forms, right? So prior to him saying that you need to have the faith, it's like faith as a mustard seed, basically. Every time they would not be able to do something, he kept saying to them, "Oh, ye of little faith." And I'm like, if it was the size of the mustard seed, why does he keep talking to them and saying, "Oh, ye of little faith"? Like, I'm like, something's off to me. So I started researching and looking up. The mustard seed is one of the very smallest seeds we know already, right? But when a mustard seed is planted into the ground, its roots grow so deep that it's hard to pull that tree up. The tree that it forms is so massive that it serves as a home to many different wildlife, basically. So it's saying that you need to have faith as a mustard seed, and it's the characteristics of the seed, not necessarily the size of it, like how powerful the seed is, basically.
What's in it and what it can grow. Let me tell you something. Me and my daughters, wherever we lived, I know people probably hate us. I don't know if they took or not. But every house and every apartment, like if I had a balcony, like a little courtyard thing, backyard, we always went around the edge of that and planted mustard seeds. Right?
My neighbor, she was like 80-something years old, and she would just cast the mustard seeds in her yard.
Literally. And so I'm sorry if I messed up somebody's
I was like, wait a minute,
pipes.
mustard seed ain't even that small. It is small, but there are seeds that are much smaller than mustard seeds. So I was like, why did he pick the mustard seed of all the seeds? And then, like I said, when I started doing the diet, I'm like, that's why. Because it's not necessarily the seed, it's what it produces. Like, the roots are so strong that you literally can't pull it out the ground. The tree is so big, it's harboring so many different animals. Like, that's basically what he's saying. That's why he chose, because he don't do nothing for nothing. That's why he chose the mustard seed itself, basically.
The yield is amazing from a mustard seed.
I'm sorry?
The yield from a mustard seed is amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's one of the largest yields that is produced from something so small, or even, you know what I'm saying, that's not out of the what you call them, what would that be, like a herb? It's not a herb. Is it a herb?
It's a herb, a spice. Yes.
A spice. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna say
That
this.
was the final that if they made me think about that when they were talking about the vines, I was like, oh, I just wanted to add that in there.
That's good, Rika. I mean, Rika. I'm sorry, Danny. Listen, you know y'all favor a little bit over here. Do y'all know that? Can y'all see each other's pictures?
You know what your name is.
But do y'all see? Huh?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I'm looking at Rika, but I'm talking to you, so don't kill me. Okay. They do. I know. I'm looking at Rika. I'm listening to Danny, but I'm looking at Rika picture, and it didn't call her Rika. This how family do. So I want to say this. Amazing work, Danny, on yeah, they do. And that's why I be getting people's name wrong. I love y'all and I know exactly who they are. You said like David was small, but he moved like a giant. I don't know if David was regular size either. I don't believe he was. Do y'all believe David was regular size?
No. I don't think so. I think he might have been smaller than the rest of them, but he was bigger than we are.
He had his size on right.
Because they didn't want to tell us who his mama was. And remember, they said that well, we know David married a giant woman. We don't. I'm sure Solomon had one too. Solomon, and then we don't know if David's mama was a giantess woman. So because remember, the daddy act like he was ashamed of her. Remember?
Yeah, Solomon was with Sheba, and Sheba was one. She wasn't a full human, right?
That's what I'm thinking. What Bathsheba is the one that
hair on her legs or something from that 3,000 years longing or something did. Like that. She was like a whatever you called it.
Yeah, a satyr or something.
Woman, nothing. Goat legs.
She was
like she had a human leg, but she had like long hair, so that's how he was able to tell that she was like the same type of person that he was, but not necessarily like
a satyr kind of. Well, all I'm gonna say is this: the work that, if you think about it too, just real quick, Rika, going back to the mustard seed thing. If you look at the tree in Lord of the Rings that's up there with the elves, does that kind of look like how that has the little white flowers on it? If you look at that and look at the Lord of the Rings tree, are those similar?
They are similar. Yes, they are.
Interesting. What you say, Nicole?
No, I just said yeah.
Interesting. When I say my mind is going back through, because I'm thinking about even the tree in Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings. What is it? Game of Thrones. That they used to sit under at first when she was a little kid. Was that
weirwood trees?
Huh?
I think those were the weirwood trees.
What was it called?
Those with the faces in them?
No, remember it was some courtyard where the girl was her servant, and then she ended up being her stepmama there in Game of Thrones.
It had red leaves on it.
Is that the tree?
I think it was in Winterfell, and it had red leaves, and they would go to the tree
and whisper, right, and try to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm just thinking about how they always have a tree in the middle. You said, "Oh my God, that tree that was crying blood on Game of Thrones is the same tree as Pocahontas."
That's a redwood tree.
It's a redwood tree.
Weirwood.
Weirwood. What is a weirwood tree?
That's what they called the tree in Game of Thrones, with the faces on it.
Lord Jesus.
Also, back to like gene splicing, I was thinking about that with Game of Thrones, how they brought back the that wolf,
the dire wolf
recently.
The dire wolf, yeah.
Dire wolf, yep. I was like, recently they've been playing with wolves around here too. I don't know.
That just
and genes. They made the White Walkers. That is how they made the White Walkers. That could have been messing with the genes too, because he was completely changed.
Oh right, if they bite, wasn't if they bite you or something, they turned kind of like the vampires. They turn into White Walkers if they bite you.
I think the White Walker had to like kill you or something, and then
Yeah, they were the Walking Dead kind of thing. You would have to die. They had to kill you, and then you regenerate into one of them.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all know what I just was thinking about. I'm sorry, I'm here with y'all, but back to them trees. How we done seen all the faces, and I'm sorry, I'm listening to everything y'all saying, but I'm also thinking. Remember, I told y'all that I was telling my kids that I wanted them to plant me in the ground in one of them pods and put a tree on top of me. But now that I understand that my DNA would be growing up in that, it's making me wonder if some of the trees that we see that look like they got faces in them were actual people that were bound up by the witches and warlocks. You know how you see them in the vine, the poisonous vine, and it's like they turn into stone or they turn into that tree.
They petrified, like Grandmother Willow and Pocahontas.
Y'all just reminded me about what A. Goody said when she said about the straw man in Wizard of Oz. They just came out with that movie Wicker.
Wicker, yes.
Where that man is literally made of wicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you think about it, what do they use in hoodoo? The first, what's the name, dolls? Ain't that straw?
Straw dolls.
What you call them? The hoodoo dolls, right? And then they put the little thing on top of them. But think about this. What is paper mache? A lot of times is a paste over. They've used straw or whatever to make certain things, right? And then that's how they make like the clay houses. But they've also used that to make like statues and stuff, like scarecrows, stuff like that, or whatever. Sometimes they'll cover it in mud. And if you think about it, ain't that what we are? Like our bones are kind of like straw, sticks, whatever.
Oh my God. And just like with doggone, back to Lord of the Rings, just like with Melkor, couldn't create independent life, but twisting living creatures into something malicious.
Golems.
Yep.
So that was an episode of Supernatural too. The Scarecrow was some kind of, I think, Celtic god of harvest, and it would waken like the new moon or something.
And just like with the Minotaur, they had to sacrifice. Well, with the Minotaur, it was like a few groups of them, but it had to be one male, one female. To that dang Scarecrow on Supernatural. And the Minotaur, it was like 6 or 7 pairs, one male, one female.
You said in England
so they would
too?
lure couples in with their apple pies from their harvest and take them to the orchard so that it could. Whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that one. I remember the episode.
It was in like season 1, I think.
It was early on.
It was somewhere down in there.
And then you just made me think Game of Thrones. I just went and looked up White Walkers, and it was like you cannot naturally become a White Walker yourself. They are an ancient magical master race created, and regular humans only become zombie-like foot soldiers called Whites. White Walkers, or the others, are the intelligent commanders created through dark magic and retain their physical form and higher functions. A created master race, is that not what the Nephilim were trying to be?
Right. And doesn't that just solidify what you were saying about the genes, where the deformities are like not exactly like how they used to be, but they're kind of like a watered down version? So you can't be a White Walker, but you can be a form of one.
Hold on. But wait a minute.
A
Cain
zombie who only follows their order.
Cain was the first vampire. He also was the person with the leprous white spot. And he was cursed to walk the earth, and nobody could kill him, but he started killing everything running. Remember?
Just like you just said, he had the leprous touch. The Night King could transform a living human into a White Walker simply by touching them.
And leprosy is, oh.
Girl.
And most people that have severe forms of leprosy, they look like the Walking Dead.
They do.
They
Oh, yeah.
limbs be falling off. It be grooves and oh. And that's what the little, remember the little girl they killed her, they had her hanging up there, then she had that sore on her face.
She sure did.
No.
Oh.
But that master race comment it made me think about Germany, how they were trying to do that up there.
And the mustache person over there was obsessed with the occult too.
Mm-hmm.
And necromancy, which is exactly everything that he was doing is what they was doing. Genetics and everything is what they was doing in the city of Enoch.
These people's is thorough.
Baby, listen.
And Hollywood.
You said just like that
And
show
that's where I would
Legends,
like to
Human
talk
Boy's
about,
father was a golem,
the
and they
word
couldn't
Magus
figure out
come
how
from.
he was supernatural
Going back
and
to
wasn't a vampire, a
twins,
witch, or a
because
werewolf.
in one of their
Uh-oh.
their places, their summer camps, wasn't one of their big focus operating on twins?
And what is this?
In the German people's summer camp, when the mustache man was running them, weren't one of their main focuses, wasn't one of their main doctors operating and experimenting on twins?
To like see if one could feel what the other one felt. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we go back to it, like I said, if Uriel and Lucifer are twins, it makes so much sense as to why they are obsessed with the idea of the twin, especially if one angel worked on one half and the other worked on the other. Are they working to see if they could corrupt one twin?
But they always call it the evil twin. They always, my daddy and my uncle are yeah. And one of my uncles, my uncle, and my daddy was hell on wheels. And my other uncle, like they still had their twin bond, but my daddy hell on wheels. My uncle, he was smooth going, smooth sailing. He was just going, you ain't saying, not saying he didn't do his dirt, but they were two completely different. But they look just alike. So I'm sitting here thinking about my daddy and my uncle. So yeah. 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 Oh, wait.
And I just looked it up.
That's one thing.
And they were working on twins to prove the idea of a master race and increase their birth rate.
Because think about this. Remember I told y'all the giants multiplied very quickly. Remember, if you're going up against 210,000 people and the people were scared. Remember I asked y'all why was they scared? Because the people they was fighting. Well, how long do it take to incubate a giant? You know what I'm saying? How long does it take to do that? They were multiplying, and again, they were not only just having children with human women, they were having children with animals as well. The lion, hey, go ahead. What was you about to say? Is it eight? Somebody?
Oh, the twins thing. How it could be they could be identical but have two different personalities. It made me think of people with bipolarism and how it's one being, but they have two different personalities. That's my thought on the whole twin. So I don't know. I have to dig deeper into that thought.
No, I mean, it makes sense if you have one, if it's twins, right? And they're working on, which makes more sense. I'm going to tell you why this even makes sense. Remember, we read that the angel stands at the uterus of the woman to protect the child and make sure the child is not born early. Remember when we was reading that, when we was reading about the soul and how it doesn't want to be forced into, and how the little Big Bang Theory, that's when we was going through. It makes you think about, if there's two souls in there, then that means there's two angels standing at that womb to make sure that neither one of those babies exits early. But sometimes they have to deliver a twin and stitch the amniotic sac back, or however they do that, to keep the other twin, because only one twin is in distress. You know what I'm saying? Both of them might not be in distress, right? So then it makes you wonder: is the entity that is supposed to be guarding that one, are they fighting for that specific baby's life? You know what I mean? Because it could be babies that's in the same whatever, and then they have to deliver them at different times. So why, if they were if they were created at the same time, why do they have to be delivered at different times? And you see what I'm saying, huh?
So I was just saying that makes a lot of sense. But I think I just figured out also why the Egyptians were so concerned about the other people outnumbering them so much. You got me thinking about giants, and I searched it up. If a 200-foot tall person was pregnant, how long would they be pregnant for? It says for a 200-foot giant, you would need 180 months for a multi-ton baby. Now, if we go and we look at 30-foot tall people, that's 13 and a half months. They were rapidly producing way more than those 200-foot people were because they needed less time to create the child because they were smaller. Hence why their numbers were so much more.
I think that Pantagruel's mama
Yeah.
was pregnant with him for 13 months.
Yeah.
Was it 11 or 13? I think she was pregnant with that boy for 13 months, girl. You just hold on a second. Gargantua. I'm sorry. I think his mama was pregnant. You said they would a 30. Okay, you said a 30-foot person. If they was pregnant, would take 13 months. That's what you said?
About 13 and a half months.
Girl.
You know, I was that made me think of this old man I was talking to, and he was talking about originally we were pregnant for because life comes in cycles. We were pregnant for 12 months, I think. He said, yeah, it was 12 months, and then they started inducing people around 9 months, or maybe it was 10 months. Anyways, they started inducing people early because if you had that full-term pregnancy, which our bodies have like evolved into 9 months pregnancies generally, but if you induce people early, then their pineal glands don't, or they fully form.
I heard that it was 10 months. I know what you're talking about.
Interesting.
And so to keep those pineal glands from forming, they started inducing babies at 9 months.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. They fluorinate our water. They put that fluoride in our water to calcify them. So, and they the first water, I remember when they used to only sell baby water, and it was fluoride water. That makes, yeah. Do y'all remember that when they sold all the baby water to make the babies bottles with in the early 90s? All of that water,
I remember,
was fluorinated. Why would you be giving babies fluoride if you know that it's gonna, well, that would be the reason, wouldn't it? To calcify their pineal glands, which is wild. Why don't you want people to think for themselves?
You want to say something about magistrate or something?
Huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you waiting on?
Oh, I was waiting for y'all to finish talking.
Girl, go ahead.
Yeah, you would never get in.
No, when I was watching The Golden Compass and his dark matter, that stood out to me more. That word magistrate. And it reminded me of how Lucifer was in heaven and how we read in class that he was going through all the levels in heaven asking for, what you say, a third or 10, some percent of whatever, and you know, of the levels of, you know, of every and I don't know how to explain it, but you know that class that we had.
Yeah, he was going through all the levels of heaven. And
yes. So when
I saw the magistrate as talking to Lyra, and she was saying, you know, well, what do you do here? And she says, oh, we help people, you know, behave, you know, and tell them what to do. And they're like, well, why you do it this way? And they're like, well, we do it in a good way. And I was like, wait a second. Did you see her, how her eyes looked at her? And then and afterwards, I started going deep into that word. And so I started breaking it down, and it took me all the way down to where it says magic. Because I took the word mag and then separated from the word I don't know how to say it.
It's straight, right? Magistrate.
I took mag and then street, excuse my language.
It's okay.
And I broke both of them words down. And for the magi, in theory, it's an office task confirmed by the sacred orders. And I was like, well, that's what Lucifer was doing. He was like going up, you know, in levels, trying to see, you know, what was what, and he was saying, give me this and give me, you know, the 10. And then I looked even deeper, and it says the prefix is really means like your honor or honorable judge. So he was trying to be honorable judge to all these levels of heaven. And when Dad found out about him, he ended up throwing him, you know, down earth with you know, the 1/3 of the angels. So I ended up going and seeing what scrotum means, and it really means the T shape on your chest. So he got thrown like lightning down, you know, when Dad, you know, threw him to earth.
By his neck?
No, he, like, you know how Dad just threw him out, you know, from heaven. And that's what made him go from being, you know, bright, you know, having all the jewels, to how he looks.
Interesting.
Then I went even deeper, and I said, okay, well, let me see what it means in Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. The word magi, it translated to sorcery, smooth slayer, and magic.
Magic, right.
I was like, wait a second. This is what we talked about in class. And then it says also illusion, to where it makes you, you know, think that you're gonna, how should I say it? Like how the stars are. But really, it kills you, and it's harming you in the inside.
Just like the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Right? They're viewed as the holy people, but then you see little kids under their robes.
Right.
This kind of stuff.
And when I saw that took me like for a roller coaster. I was like, so really the Catholic Church is really the magistrate that did all this because of Emor.
Who got all the relics?
Right.
Who got the alethiometers and the bones and the knives and the, y'all know what I've been thinking about too? Oh, I don't know if I can give it a, okay. There is a sharp instrument coming up, depending on where you at on this show, okay? And I don't want to give it away, but I just want to say, think about the Spear of Destiny. Okay. What? Nicole, you was about to say something?
Oh, no, she just got me thinking 'cause when she said T-shape and how all these things are actually, healing you. When someone does an autopsy, how do they cut the body? It's in a T-shape.
Yep.
And so if he calls sin and the wages of sin is death, it makes sense that that T-shape
Is in
was
your.
on him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, it told me that in Hebrew, the word magi also means astrologer. In ancient Asia and Persian. And I said, now I see where, how does it say that verse in the Bible said where Daniel was supposed to wait for the angel Gabriel, but he was delayed because of fighting with the king of Persia.
Mm-hmm. I think that was
reminded me
Jacob.
of that.
Was it Daniel? It was. Was it Daniel or Jacob?
No, remember it was I think it was Daniel.
Oh, when he said the Lord has heard your prayer.
Yes.
Was it Daniel or Elijah? I don't know who it was. If it was, it probably was Daniel. I don't know who it was, but I know the story. I don't know if it was, but I remember it was Daniel. Okay, so you was right, Daniel. Okay, y'all. Sorry, see, I don't know. I was thinking about who fought with the angel, but that was Jacob.
That was Jacob. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you were saying that that made you think about when he said he fought with the Prince of Persia and he couldn't get to him to get the message to him. Good night. Good night, nephew. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go back and forth. The Prince of Persia. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening, Diane. I'm sorry. Y'all nephew Michael said good night.
Okay. And then I went. Hi. And then I also I went into the word smooth slayer, and it told me that a smooth slayer is a person that claims or believes to have the power to predict the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, there goes Lucifer trying to predict the future, and it all started by Eve telling her to if you eat this tree, if you eat from this tree, you shall become like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it really was the opposite. He was giving her illusions to thinking, okay, if I do this, I could do that, I'm not gonna die. But yeah, he was the one, like sis, how you said he came into the what's it called, the garden, and planted that reef.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everything started. I said, from that T shape, it's like that's where we get our chest looking like a T. I said, no wonder why everybody dies from either like a stroke or a heart attack, because it's all come from the heart, from the chest. So the word majesty really took me to a roller coaster ride, besides everything else in the story. But everything else in the story, shocked me. But the word majesty is what really got to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said, and we have T cells. Interesting.
Right. Uh-huh. And that's why the blood is so important, because it's like how you say, it starts from the blood.
So what if sickles? Cause the reaper carries a scythe, right?
Yes.
But they also call that a sickle for reaping. So, okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, because I'm thinking about, you said T cell, and if he put that T on us or on our chest, and that's, we know that once that happens, that, what, I'm wondering if because of Lucifer causing, if Lucifer is not, I mean, if Cain is not Adam's, right? It could
It's
that
not going to really affect Cain because he didn't really come from dad like Abel did.
right? But I'm thinking it still could have caused them pain, right?
Right.
Because it makes sense that sickle, it it's gonna be hard to reproduce if your actions cause death in the earth. And I'm not saying sickle cell, I'm just thinking about Abel, I mean not Abel, Cain, sickle cell, and because he spilled blood, does it make sense that his children would have sickle cell? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is that a far reach from that? And I'm not trying to offend anybody with sickle cell. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just thinking about, because where did the sickled cell come from? And if sickle means reap, or it was used by the reaper, and think about it. Cain was a tiller of the ground. He would be a person that would need to use a sickle because he was sowing the plants and stuff into the ground. Ain't that what he did? Or no?
Yes.
It's so funny that you say that Adam, all of that about sowing into the ground. Because again, slipped my mind earlier, but I had this conversation with my mother.
I'm listening to you.
I don't know what just happened, but I was looking up Sargon again because we know Cain is Sargon, and his origins. It says he had humble origins because his mother was a high priestess who placed him in a red basket and set him adrift on the Euphrates River before a gardener that they called Aki raised him. Now, if Adam and Eve at a certain point in time were standing at separate, ends of the river trying to repent and whatnot, because that's what Adam told Eve to do, to go down there. If Cain was born to Eve and she put him in a basket and sent him down the river and he was raised by Adam, wouldn't Adam count as a gardener or a farmer, because wasn't he told he would till the land?
Mm-hmm.
And that draws parallel with Moses, because Moses, who was going to deliver his people from Egypt and these giants, was set adrift in a basket.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Cain, who was going to be the one taking over and doing these horrible things, was also set adrift in a basket. So could it be that Moses was born to kind of set right what was messed up with Cain?
Yeah, that sounds yeah.
And think about this. That's where they went and killed all the Hebrew boys at, was in Egypt. They were specifically, so the spirit of Cain was running through the Egyptians. Because think about it. Lucifer was the castaway son, and so was Cain. Right?
Mm.
Both of these two sons were cast away and put on the outside of where the Father's love would be. They were sent away. It makes sense as to why the assault, both times that the people, or not both times, but all of the time that the people were in Egypt, that it was more so against the men and not the women. The seed of them. The seed of you being without your sons. Is that why God allowed their first sons, the first sons now, everybody's first son, to be unalived? Because that's what Cain did. He killed, because I read somewhere that Cain isn't older than Abel, and then I've read somewhere that he is. But that superfetation thing too that we read about is a deal where a woman can be pregnant by two different men at two different times, and we looked into that. So it's just making me wonder, like y'all said, all of the things with Moses, with because Moses had other brothers and sisters. Did they have a different mom? Was he like, was there multiple wives or no? Moses's mom and dad, didn't his dad have another wife somewhere? Didn't we read about that? That his, because the dad stayed away for like 30 years or 15 years or something. Didn't we read a version of that where dad was not with mom and the baby, and there was like older brothers and sisters? Did he have another wife somewhere else, or did they have the same mom and dad? Because what if Moses was his mom's first son, and it was like a sister and a sister wife situation, like with the kids from Jacob? You see what I mean? So if he was a first son and he's having to undo what it is that Cain did, or to undo that whole going down the river and all of this stuff, that would make sense as to why they specifically went with the firstborn sons.
Wait a minute. It says here that his father Amram did not have another wife, but he divorced and remarried his wife, Moses' mother, to avoid bringing children into the world. When Adam separated himself from Eve and told her to go over there, could that not count as kind of a separation, a divorce?
Yeah, because I was wondering, and I'm telling you, you all in my business now, because I was thinking earlier today, what did Eve do that Adam didn't want to touch her for that long time? What happened? I know he was grieving when Abel died, but it was a long time in between Seth and when Abel passed away. And they were separated for a long time. So what did she do? Because most times when people lose a child, right, even though there's a high emotions, they normally go to each other. So why did he not want to see her face? Could it be because he knew that Cain wasn't his, and he just couldn't take the thought of looking at her like, you the reason like my son gone? Like, why didn't he want to be around her? You said, could it be
Yeah, I would think so, especially because he lost his ability to see. You know, once she deceived him to do what he did. You know what I mean? Like, he lost a lot of things because of her. So I would think so.
Cause I'm like, why would you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you don't want to touch her? Why you don't want to be with your wife?
She said, "Baby, you made me mess up my spiritual eyesight. I can't see. Now the veil is over my eyes." Like, yeah, he probably had a lot of things going on.
Now, this might sound controversial, so please don't boo me. But if Eve laid down with Lucifer and had Cain, and there's nothing new under the sun, could it make sense also that Adam also laid down with him, and that could attribute to?
Listen, because it is something out there that says that, and don't quote me, this is just allegedly, that Adam slept with Lilith. I don't know how true that is or whatnot, but maybe that's what was out there.
We read some stuff about that. Y'all don't remember, but think about it.
Like sis says, they could have had a threesome.
But think about this too, y'all. We read that they showed Adam. Remember in the Old Testament Supergrapha, Adam's heart was set on fire of lust. It didn't get like that.
Right.
Until after the 10 hosts transformed themselves into women. And we talked about how certain situations with children, they get into a situation with same sex And then they never ever want to be with the opposite sex, so then they never create children.
Right. The
Could
spirit
that
is
be why?
on from the jump.
Right. Could that be why he needed to go into the water and repent for so long, because he had to be renewed from that? Because if he wasn't, he was never going to lay down with his wife. Because if we look at it, how many of these men go lay down with these men who present themselves as women and don't want to go back to regular women anymore?
Right.
And if we know, I mean, the first we read this that the first trans situation was right after they got out of the garden, so it makes perfect sense. But we talked about also again the whole spirits getting to babies while they are little and altering their minds of certain things, right? And it's all a part of the war of your seed against my seed, because the demons don't, the fallen angels, they don't want humans born at all.
And the earlier they do it, the more they would think they were born that way. That's the reason why they always is, oh, I was born like this. No, the spirit was just on you before you came out the womb. That's what it was.
That Lady Gaga song, Born This Way.
Yeah, born this way. Mm-hmm.
So think about this, right? I think that again, the magisterium has tried to control everything that we know, and so that we can't see what's really going on. And I say that because who tells us what books we can and can't get?
Right. Who says what's canon and what's not canon?
Emor does. Emor, right? And the other agencies like Emor, right? You said that's why Lilith set the plan to destroy his legacy after seeing he went back home. Well, because she probably the one that be sending them for the babies. We didn't read, but we know she got a whole bunch of names, and they transform as much as they want to. They got 1,000. They say, and then they'll say, "Oh, I go by a lot of names." Right, right. Remember, we read about the spirits that attack newborns when they're 10 days old and take their voice, turn their ears around, all these different things. The three-headed dragon, which is crazy, because when I was making trays, I have this, right? But this is like the spirit that makes the babies not be able to see, not be able to hear, and not be able to speak. But this is also the dragon from Game of Thrones.
And it looked like the three-headed dog demon or whatever that thing was in Hercules that he was fighting. And every time, or no, every time he would not the dog, but the dragon, when he would cut the head off, it would grow another head.
The Hydra?
The Hydra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. Y'all, am I tripping? But are these tails sixes?
Yeah.
Is that a six and that a six?
Looks like a 6 to me.
It does.
Oh, okay. What? So y'all still in season 1 on what's the name?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta wait, baby, because listen. It's so much I want to say. I'm just not gonna say nothing. I just want to see if y'all can. Ooh wee, cause baby. Okay, are y'all paying attention to the symbols on the magisterium's clothing?
Yes. Yes.
Y'all looked everything up, right?
Mhm.
You looked it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just be waiting on y'all to get on down the road now. Because I really want to talk to y'all about some stuff, but I can't because I don't want to skew anybody's view of what you're going to be looking at. So, you said, remember, they mentioned Lilith and Adam. Well, you got to think about it. We talked about it. Lilith is just in Akkadian lore, right? They are the seducing spirits of people, say do, right? So, I mean, it makes
Was
sense.
Lilith just Lucifer's female name? Because think about it. You have a lot of people who present as women who have their birth name, their given male name, and then the feminine they go by.
Right. That's what I was telling somebody that one time, and she was telling me, "Oh no, he's her wife," and I was like, "No, it's actually a grouping of female spirits that come from Lucifer." But when somebody hears one thing, they don't really want to hear something extra. So she didn't really understand what I was trying to tell her.
They never do. It's okay. Well, they show Lucifer as a woman all the time.
Yeah. That one show, did y'all watch that show? The Fall of the House of Usher. The character who is Lucifer is a female. In every situation, it's a female.
He shows up as Lucifer in Supernatural
Very
too.
androgynous.
Right. Right. Which is why the modeling agency, where the lights are on you and everybody's watching you walk, they all look like.
Oh my gosh. Game of Thrones, again, High Valyrian, when they were talking about the prophecy, when they said the prince that was promised, and they said gender is fluid in High Valyrian. So it could be the prince or princess.
Exactly. That androgynous spirit.
Remember the wrath and all of that, and they mixed with each other, and they created 49 androgynous demons. Y'all remember in the Testament of Solomon? And these were their females and their males. Well, if you look, some of them is the same spirit. Two wraths, two this, two that, which kind of goes along with what Nicole was saying earlier about what if they were twins. Because even in the, I think in the Fate show, or something like that, the witches that was up in the, it would basically be like the magistrate. What wasn't it? All they had the red ones, the green ones, the blue ones, and they all had a specific type of magic that they were able to do. I'm sorry, y'all, hold on. Don't mean to interrupt, but the UK is on high alert because the IRA is planning to remove all migrants out of the land. Shoot. Y'all heard that?
I heard it.
Does it make sense?
Just to speak to that androgyny, I just looked up ancient languages that did not use masculine or feminine. And it says the Hittite language, Sumerian, Indo-European, so things like Sanskrit, which is Indo-European.
Which is go ahead.
They used categories such as human or non-human rather than biology.
Like like man and human. Is that what they say? Or humankind, like human and then humankind?
You were either human or you were not human.
Interesting.
And if you, like, that's how they referred. They did not use gender. It was you were either human or not.
Oh, interesting.
So basically telling us that there's other people, other beings here, basically.
Okay. And rather than refer to you as gender, they preferred to operate in that non-binary androgyny.
Which makes sense as to why when we was looking in the Egyptian book, remember I said, wait a minute, he got a mustache. I've been thinking this was a woman this whole time in the white gown, remember? And then Nero, he did this. Most of the rulers had a trans person, like our rulers right now.
And wasn't it the lady that she was talking about was a big burly, the big burly woman in that one book we was reading? And I was like, wait a minute, Auntie, don't do too much.
I'm just saying, because this is the thing, right? So I was like, wait one moment. Them arms is pretty muscular. It's the mustache on there. Y'all remember? And but if you go back, most of the leaders, what do they call it now? Inverted society? Ain't that what they say? The leader living in inverted societies. Now we go back and we see Barbara Bush was a whole man.
Oh yeah, you talking about like the president's wives back in the day? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ain't that the inverted society that we're looking at right now?
It existed before because you go back to Roman Emperor, I think it was like Elagabalus or something. He wore wigs, makeup, preferred to be called a woman, and sought medical procedures to acquire female anatomy.
King James too. King James was a hoe. He did not. That is at the Vogue shows, baby. Get me? What you mean? He was. They was busting it down. That's why I didn't like his mama. He got her killed.
It's less than for the children. Like, who was it? The basketball player and his son is a daughter. What's his name? D Wade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the
Even
same.
Magic Johnson's kid, E.J. Johnson.
Yeah, it's the inverted society. I mean, but you have to think of, okay. So real quick, y'all nephew, going back to what he said, because I don't want these people over here to think I'm ignoring them, because we over here and y'all know how this get. But he said we've been talking about Ireland all week, and that's why he said the UK is on high alert, because we've been talking about the UK all week, and then they on alert. So that's what he was saying. And we have been talking about Ireland and Ireland and all up in this northern region all week, and now they on high alerts for some craziness. So I just want to say this. We said we wasn't gonna be on here till 1 or 2 in the morning. It's 12 and it's one somewhere at somebody's house. So listen, because I know this can go. I think I like doing this. This is really good for me, and so we probably gonna do this a little more often. Okay, because then I just get to sit and listen and think about all the right, all of the stuff that I have thought about, and I'm not the only one to be thinking about it now. It makes me excited, but talking to y'all really makes me want to go back through like all of my notes. And the reason I say that is because it's questions that you have. Again, you write them down, and then God send the answer, and you will never know where it's gonna come from. And there are things that you all are thinking about that make me think about some of my research back in the day when I first started this. But again, didn't have nobody to talk to about it. So seeing how all of the pieces are put together, and again, I still think that the Tower of Babel is a very important piece of what we are doing right now. And the reason I say that is because, again, the stories were all the same prior to that time, and then people started to spread out on the earth. And so I feel like we are like somebody took the north, somebody took the east, somebody took the west, somebody took the south. And no matter how many times the entities, like when we were looking through, I don't know if y'all remember when we did this when we first started, but we would go and we would say a name, and then we would say, go look in this culture, this culture, this culture, and see if they have a being similar to that or a name similar to that. And I think that that is magnified right now. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, that's when we were finding out Brahma, and like we were connecting all the names. Brahma was Abraham. I remember that class.
You remember this? And then even just for the gods and stuff, because we would find them in Greek and find them in this and find them in that and all of this. And look, y'all, it's almost all the same stories. This is a primordial being that came down and did this, and then boom, it's over here, and then it's over here, and the names and the cities and everything. And it's literally like we got the cipher, and we're just finding the clicks to be able to pull out the scroll and see what else is moving along, whether it be bloodlines or the names of the rulers, the groups of people that put these learning centers together, or whatever else it is. And then it just makes you think about the secret knowledge that's in every movie that we've ever watched that has to do with whatever. It's some secret knowledge somewhere that somebody stumbles on, and it opens up this whole big old world to them that they didn't even know that was existed, and now they in danger. Every time you get the information that you're not supposed to have, automatically The people that have been watching from the shadows is out to get you now. So it makes me excited that we're looking into things that again have been right in front of our face, and we're able all to search different pieces to come and put it together, right? But the fact that God is allowing us to find it in the way that He is amazing to me, right? Because we got all these people from different cultures that love different things like anime and whatever else it is, Star Wars, and no, their name is this in there and their name is that in there, and remember this movie such and such, like all of that stuff right now. The fact that we can put all these pieces together, okay, from everybody saying nope, episode such and such and such and such and such supernatural, the sister's name was, the brother's name was, like all of this is great. Putting everything in the alphabet pot instead of just being the only one to research it, and just being able to write down the information that goes right along with what it is that you've already been studying, or something you never studied before, but it puts a piece in your puzzle that you're doing. Is It's like we getting a lot of different information without having to do the work. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the stick they give you on sacred text with all the books already downloaded on it. It's like that's what this feels like to me. I'm sorry, you said it's like Raya in The Last Dragon when they took a part of the sphere. You said, and they had to collect the pieces and put them back together. Right, right, right. Which makes sense because it feels like God. I mean, He hid a lot of things in a lot of different places, but He said, "I got sheep and all folds." So then that means we got to go look at everywhere that He might have a sheep at. You said yes, it's helping a lot. Auntie said thank you, y'all. You said same here. Only a few people in life have talks like this or can handle it without going crazy. Right. Right. Well, listen, y'all. If y'all want to, we can do this again in the morning. I'm about to get off here and find me a snack because I took a long nap and then I didn't want to not come and be around y'all for this evening. So y'all want to wait till the afternoon to have a class tomorrow? Because I already know I'm not gonna go to bed till about 2, but I need to find me something to eat. And I know y'all got stuff to do in the morning. Y'all here? Is y'all asleep? What y'all doing?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I was just being quiet. I need to go to bed probably. I'm supposed to be up in like 4 hours.
I was about to say, I was just typing because I gotta go let the chickens out in the morning, so I do
Oh,
afternoon classes.
not the chickens, girl. You said, let me get up and let these chickens out. And you got to get up in the morning because then babies got to go to school. Okay, so we can do this again, but we'll do it earlier in the day. How about that? Is that fair?
That works.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I love you.
I'm hearing my son in the background.
It's okay. Because, baby, listen, we is family. We going to get up. I don't care if you got your face cream on or whatever. Just come comfortable. We'll get it together. I love y'all. Good night. And thank you to everybody that came up here. Everybody said it sounds good. Also, they love the class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is so much better. I like this. I like this a lot. It's very contained. I'll see y'all later. I'm getting off for real right now. Thank you. You see, they said great class, y'all.
Well, thank y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, good night. Because everybody sound like we about to be asleep. All right, bye. Listen, we going to bed right now. We is. I love y'all. Everybody go to sleep because we'll keep talking.